Painter in Cambridge, Massachusetts. There's also a legal battle as Harvard tries to unfreeze blocked federal grants. We'll hear from President Trump later today with Elon Musk as the Tesla and SpaceX CEO wraps up his time as a special federal employee leading the Department of Government Efficiency. Doge's work controversially led to federal job and spending cuts. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells Fox.
I think Elon came in and in 100 days did some very important work.
Doge touts savings at $175 billion. Musk's initial goal was $1 trillion or more. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth is in Singapore.
This is the continuation of a very important, long-standing relationship. A bond that has been strengthened over time, and we want to continue to renew.
Hegseth there with a security forum with other defense officials, diplomats, world leaders talking about China's aggressiveness and Russia's war in Ukraine. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
What the investigation into the mayor's office revealed: light rain on radar, 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis, going up to 74 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:02. The investigation into Mayor Joe Hogsett's office and sexual harassment claims involving his former chief of staff, Thomas Cook, founded the city acted legally, but recommends changes to policies and oversight.
I wish I could say I was shocked by what we found, but I'm not that shocked that we didn't really hear anything from this. I went into this very skeptical that we would actually get anything done.
That's Councilor Brian Mowry.
One of the things I thought of coming in here, pulling into the building today, was if I was the mayor and I knew I was innocent and I didn't do anything wrong, I would have been there today, and I would have made sure that people saw that I was standing behind what had happened and that I done everything I needed to do, and not hid behind the four walls of the mayor's office.
The investigation cost you nearly $500,000. Game 5 is a loss for the Indiana Pacers in the Eastern Conference Finals, played in New York against the Knicks last night, 111-94.
We obviously didn't play with the level of force that we needed to. We lost the rebound battle. We lost the turnover battle. We didn't shoot well. They had a lot to do with it, so give them credit.
That's head coach Rick Carlisle. Game 6 back here in Indy on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. 4 people hurt when a train and a car collided on the south side of Indianapolis yesterday afternoon. Those people are lucky to be alive. They were taken to the hospital with minor injuries and listed in stable condition. I'm Ryan Hedrick, on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com, you have traffic and weather coming up with Tony Katz in the morning news. It is now 6:04. Good morning.
Citizens, since we each upgraded to Xfinity in our homes, the Wi-Fi has been booming. It's fair to say our town has officially become a boomtown.
Mayor, will I be able to drop into multiplayer gaming battles with low lag?
The lag won't be an issue, but your questionable skills, maybe.
And what if I have hundreds of devices on the Wi-Fi? Purely hypothetical.
Seems like a lot, but sure, hundreds of devices all booming together with the Xfinity Gateway. Yes, friends and neighbors, with Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming.
The Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Now get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best-in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed. All in. Plus, get unlimited data included and no annual contract. All with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X-Fi Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
Good morning. As you're traveling out and about, looking good on 65, 69, 70, 74, and 465 in and around the metro area. Keep in mind that construction on the north side closes southbound Capitol from 16th to 15th. They're going to be that way till Monday, June 23rd. And downtown Spark, the circle closes the northwest quadrant of Monument Circle until September 28th. Traffic is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off. Free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Marcus Bailey, Wish TV meteorologist, what's going on?
Hey, Tony, good morning. A little wet here to start things off around the city. Probably dealing with some of these light showers at least through mid-morning. Then we turn mostly cloudy heading into the afternoon. Temperature's not too bad. A high of around 74. We'll see a few scattered showers, maybe a rumble of thunder for the early to mid-evening hours. will dry out then overnight and gradually clear the skies out. A low down to 58 paves the way for a beautiful weekend. Saturday, sunshine, a high of 75. Mostly sunny Sunday, a high of 77. And we'll dial up the heat a bit for Monday, partly cloudy with a high of around 83.
That is Marcus Bailey, 83. Sorry.
It's not bad.
A little more spring is all I'm asking for. You know, I asked for this yesterday to Tara Hastings. And you know what she said?
Yes.
Did you hear what she said to me?
I'm sure it probably wasn't very nice.
She said, "Shut your filthy mouth, radio boy." That's what she said. I was like, "Why are you so mean?" And then she said, "Your mom's mean." And I was like, what is happening? You're supposed to be like pleasant and I, you know, like usually, you know, people are like, "Tony, why do you treat Tara Hastings that way?" I've turned Tara Hastings into a star. I'm a genius, and I treat her great. And then yesterday she was all rude, and they were like, "Ha ha, you deserved it." It's like, what? I thought rudeness was wrong, and it turns out no. They just like it when Tara Hastings does it. It's very odd.
Well, you know, it's the Hoosier hospitality apparently has gone out the window.
That's right.
You know, after the whole Pacer stuff. So we're all mean. We're terrible people.
Because John Mellencamp cried?
That's right. Yes.
Right.
Yes, he was very upset about that.
Ain't that America?
Right. Go have some chili dogs.
Right. Right. Just have yourself a chili dog and settle down. Johnny.
Yeah.
Good gosh. Just grow a pair. What does it take? Holy heck.
Right.
Tony Katz going after Mellencamp? Please. It's going to get far worse. Everybody's getting some shrapnel today. Mellencamp, Doyle, Hicks, Hastings, everybody is taking damage.
It's going to be a good radio day today.
Yeah, I'm going to get started on that. And if you're not careful, you're next.
I'm out.
That's Marcus Bailey of Wish TV. Thank you, Marcus. 58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:08.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard air dealer.
So the Pacers get punched in the face last night, 111-94, and it wasn't that close. Nothing fell, man. And when the opportunity came in the third quarter, and Towns was 3 fouls and going to be sitting on the bench for a good 6 minutes, couldn't capitalize. It was their highest scoring quarter. They get 28 points, but the Knicks got 34. It's just the way it goes sometimes. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. I mean, Brunson was 32 points. Towns was 24 points. And we just did not have it. I mean, Halliburton was 8 points. That's you're not going to win that way. Matherin was 23 off the bench, super impressive. And basically, it was nearly the entire bench that played yesterday, trying to find some way to make it work. Knicks defense has been rather swarming, and the shots just didn't fall. And those two things lead to the problems. But Game 6 here in Indy Saturday night, I love it for us. I love the money, and I love the fact that you can get courtside tickets for only $45,000 a ticket. I'm staring at Ticketmaster right now. $45,000. So what I've decided is that's not going to happen. What I just need are I need friends who have tickets to be like, "Hey, friend, I promise to be very entertaining." Now I am going to look for tickets, but $45,000. It's still radio money. But the best part of the night was when Pascal Siakam is having this back and forth with a reporter.
How is that possible?
What do you mean?
How is it possible to not fight hard enough in game?
What are you talking about? They played harder than us. It's okay. We played hard, but they played harder. What's your point? I don't get it.
My point is you're saying you guys got out-fought, and I'm saying...
That happens in the game, though. That's basketball.
In game 5, we didn't make playoffs?
You're good? You're good, bro? You're looking for something, I know, but damn. No, but I'm telling you, though. I told you. What else you want me to tell you?
I want you to tell me how. That's all I'm asking.
Well, what about you telling me? So go ahead. Who's this guy? Who's this guy? What's your name, bro? Oh.
Who is this guy who's telling me we didn't fight hard enough? And his point is, Siakam's point is, yeah, we didn't. We got out-fought this game. And the reporter is pushing and pushing, and Siakam's like, who's this? It's Greg Doyle of the Indy Star. Are you telling me that Greg Doyle is so absolutely insignificant in the Indy sports team, a sports scene, that Pascal Siakam of the Pacers didn't know who he is? Greg Doyle is so insignificant as a sports reporter in Indianapolis that Siakam didn't know who he is. Who is this guy? Holy hell. There comes a moment, Indy Star, where you don't let him do any reporting anymore. It's over. Caitlin Clark, now this. By the way, Greg Doyle blocked me on Twitter X because he's the guy who tried to get Danny Lopez fired from the Pacers because Danny Lopez ran for office, the General Assembly. And, oh, my gosh, he thinks men are men and women are women. And Doyle tried to get him fired. I say it again. And because I noted it, made it public, he blocked me. So now clearly it's Siakam. Maybe, Greg, it's you. And if you think it's, hey, why are you picking on me? Oh, kid, I'm just starting this conversation because you and Mike Hicks, today you get my ire. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
This is Gary Dick, a new brand identity for Terre Haute at 632, brought to you by the 12,000 Hoosier men and women with Laborers District Council and affiliated local unions that build Indiana. We are LIUNA.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Traffic on the fives. Jeremy Scott in for Matt Bear, who is on assignment, possibly with pants. We don't know. We didn't ask. He just said I'm on assignment, and then he went, hee. And we were like, sure, here, we'll just sign off on that. Please don't tell us, don't forget to shower when you return. Jeremy Scott, what do you got?
Oddly enough, I have a suitcase here in the studio, so we're in trouble. On the northeast side, 465 northbound, jam-packed from Fall Creek to 71st with a new crash in the two right lanes. Look at the in-net cameras. Nobody's on scene yet, so it's going to be a little bit. So if you have to head on the northeast side, give yourself plenty of extra time. The rest of your roads are looking good. And traffic is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Jeremy Scott with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Well, we got 58 degrees. I'll take it. 58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:16.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare, and I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
Career changers, including veterans and active duty service members. Your transition starts here. Go from GI to IT in a matter of months. Become a certified cyber warrior with training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, offering IT pros great opportunities and a rewarding lifestyle while protecting our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. Deploy your career in IT today. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. SkillBridge and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale. Only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
Bring it. Ooh, now I have a question. Hold on, I need the people to answer this. Do we play Will Smith on the show?
From time to time.
We play the slapper? I don't know.
Oh,
this might have to add. List? It might have to be on the list of things we don't do. You know what? You decide. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. You decide. Let us know, do we play Will Smith on the show as bumper music, yes or no? We've never had this conversation, producer Carl. He slaps Chris Rock at the, what was it, the Academy Awards? Whatever, I don't know, whatever the awards show was. Keep my wife's name out your bleeping mouth. And, oh, gosh, look at him. What did Chris Rock do? Talk about Jada Pinkett Smith and G.I. Jane 2 because it's the alopecia and the no hair. All I know is if they had made G.I. Jane 2 with her, it would have made $74 million at the box office. It would have taken $8 million to make. It would have been a huge success in that way, in that ratio. Take the win. But no, I don't know. You guys tell me. Do we play Will Smith? Let me know on the Twitter X at Tony Katz or Tony at TonyKatz.com. Trump gets the tariff win. So this is getting fascinating because this is really a constitutional question as opposed to what some other judges do, which is just nonsense. So it was the International Trade Court, Court of International Trade, which is a U.S. court based in Manhattan, that on a 3-0 decision said that President Trump cannot just put forth unilaterally reciprocal tariffs. Their argument is that the presidency, the executive branch, does not have this power. This is a congressional power, which is to say a legislative power, Article 1, not Article 2. That's their argument. The argument seemed much less about Trump and personality and much more about, well, listen, the law is the law, the rules are the rules, and this is an Article 1 a conversation, not an Article 2 conversation, a legislative conversation, not an executive branch conversation. Okay, I can live with that because that means Congress can authorize these things. Go ahead and authorize. The whole thing seemed acceptable. People wanted to yell at the judges on this one. I'm like, this one's a little different. Well, now you bring in the full 11-judge panel, which I believe is how they refer to as en banc, E-N-B-A-N-C. Like that's the full panel. Isn't that what it's called? And they take a look at this, and they put a hold. Actually, the full judge panel of the U.S. Court of Appeals puts on hold, puts a stay on that decision from the Court of International Trade, says, whoa. These tariffs can continue. Now, that means this is all going to the Supreme Court, and that's what's happening here. But what I like about the decision from the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Federal Circuit is that they went the opposite of Ketanji Brown Jackson, Justice Jackson, who I think is horrific. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson has said that this lawfare is good because it slows things down until it can get to the Supreme Court where a decision can be made. But in the slowing things down, you're saying that lawfare is good, and you're saying that the president can't actually do their job. And that's not the job of the Supreme Court, nor is it the job of these lower courts. This is the 11th, this is the U.S. Court of Appeals, this full 11-judge panel. I keep seeing 11, thinking of like 11th Circuit, but that's not how any of that works. I don't know why I'm doing that in my head. I apologize. What the U.S. Court of Appeals has done here is said the president can continue with doing his work or the work of the executive branch. And then let the Supreme Court take it up and make a call. I like this quite a bit. This is far different than this federal judge, Allison Burroughs, who extended a block on the Trump administration, shutting down Harvard's foreign student program. Her argument is that things should remain static while the school defends itself in front of Homeland Security officials. That, according to the Washington Times. This is an immigration question to which the president and the executive branch sets the policy and not Harvard. Who is Harvard to decide anything in this? They can complain about it. They can moan about it. They can kvetch about it. They can do all that kind of stuff. I'm not going to tell them no. But they don't get to decide who comes into the country. They have no power and no say. So this is a judge who is well exceeding their authority. It is different than what we saw from this Court of International Trade, which looked at how the tariffs get applied, where that power comes from, and said the power doesn't come from the executive. To which the 11-judge panel of the Court of Appeals said, well, we're not so sure about that. As to why they're not so sure about that, Trump is using a specific power called the International Economic, let me say it again, the International Emergency Economic Powers Act. This is the act that he is using to engage these reciprocal tariffs. Now, this act comes from 1977 and is based on the idea of an emergency. And no one is questioning the act or whether or not emergencies can be declared and actually have been in the past. The argument from the Court of International Trade is that no emergency exists, and it would be Congress who would have to make this decision. The question is who would decide what the emergency is. And that's where I think that's clearly the executive branch and clearly the president. That would be the role he would play in this, to make that determination, to make that decision. And that's what I think the Supreme Court's going to have to look at. There's a big difference between what happened with the Court of International Trade and with this judge saying the president has to accept Chinese nationals on student visas. No, you don't. Marco Rubio's right. Revoke them all. Every last visa. This is a fight worth fighting. Matt Bear's got traffic. Oh, sorry, he's out today. Jeremy Scott, what's going on?
Well, Tony still got this problem on the northeast side. 465 northbound at 71st. Two right lanes are blocked. Crews are finally on the scene. Took them a while because there's really no shoulders for them to get through, and there's more coming on the way. So this crash is going to be there for quite some time. You're now jammed up all the way back from 56. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
What a fun show this afternoon. Not only is it Beer Sample Friday, but it's the Summer of Allison. And producer Allison is going to be on Celebrity Beer Bong today. We've also got the top stories in Indy.
Your next car, your next truck, your next fleet vehicle at Andy Moore Ford in Plainfield, everything's got employee pricing. That is happening. Their entire American inventory has been marked with employee pricing, so you pay what they pay. The F-150s, the Super Duties, the Explorers, the Expeditions, it is all right there. And when you're with Andy Moore Ford, you're covered every single way. You want to purchase your vehicle online, right? Go ahead, andymoreford.com. Go do it. You want to schedule your service online? Go ahead, andymoreford.com, and they will come to you, get your car. They will service it, and they will return the car to you. They do incredible work. The service department there is exceptional. You know, when I had the big Bronco, the older Bronco, yeah, Andy Moore Ford did the work on that right there, getting things absolutely perfect on that vehicle. And Andy Moore Ford will give you top dollar for your used vehicle, even if you don't buy from them. Plus, if you've got a business, you need a work van, a work truck, Andy Moore Ford is the only place to be. My gosh, guys, what are you waiting for? Talk to the people at Andy Moore Ford. Chris and Alora and Michelle and Logan, incredibly great staff. Talk to them today. 2713 East Main Street in Plainfield, or online at Andy Moore Ford, MOHR, andymoreford.com.
Hey, listen, are you a 50-year-old person looking for term life insurance? Then you need to talk to Bob. Bob specializes in helping people find $1 million or more of term life insurance for a couple of $100 a month. Look, you need to know there's a price war in the term life insurance business, and you may be paying too much. Call Bob, and he'll shop and see how much money he can save you. Look, this could be the last term life insurance policy you ever have. Your rates are guaranteed for the next 20 years. That's right, guaranteed level rates for the next 20 years. And if you're a smoker or your health is not perfect, Bob has great rates for you too. So for $1 million of term life insurance coverage for a couple of $100 a month, call Bob right now. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. 800-890-5075. That's 800-890-5075. Paid for by Term Direct.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A shooting in southwestern Indiana. Light rain on radar here in downtown Indianapolis. 59 degrees. Your high today, 74. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 6:30. 3 people are dead and another is critically injured after a shooting at a home in Hobstop Thursday night. Deputies say they have arrested a 77-year-old man named Patrick Waite for the killings. Calls for gunfire came in just about after 8:30. When the cops arrived, they found witnesses who were unharmed along with the victims. The Gibson County Sheriff's Office is working with the state police for the investigation. Harvard University can continue enrolling international students at least for a little longer.
The federal judge, she simply extended her temporary restraining order that she put in place a week ago that allows Harvard to continue enrolling foreign students here on campus.
That's Fox's Chanley Painter in Cambridge, Massachusetts.
Now, this lawsuit will play out over time, but they can continue to accept foreign students. Last week, Harvard did sue the federal government when DHS Secretary Kristi Noem ordered the termination of Harvard's student visa program, saying the school had not fully complied with demands to supply information on student visa holders.
And the Trump administration has moved to pull billions in federal funding from the university. If you need to gas up this morning, you'll pay about $3.11 in Indianapolis. That's a little bit below the national average of $3.16, says AAA. Last night at the National Spelling Bee,
Éclaircissement. E-C-L-A-I-R-C-I-S-S-E-M-E-N-T. Éclaircissement.
That is correct.
That's a 13-year-old named Faison Zaki from Allen, Texas, taking home the title. There was one Hoosier that competed in the National Spelling Bee. Congratulations to Faison. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Traffic, weather, and sports together in 3 minutes. It's 6:32.
This is Inside Indiana Business Radio. I'm Gary Dick. Terre Haute has unveiled a new city brand and logo aimed at positioning the city with a unified and consistent voice. Mayor Brandon Sackman says it tells the story of who we are, where we've been, and where we're headed.
And this is helping us kind of collect all that into one collaborative brand that matches our community plan, that incorporates our riverfront design as well, and embraces a 4140 arts and cultural district. So we're blending a lot of different ideologies focused around the common theme of progress.
In East Central Indiana, plans unveiled for a $30 million redevelopment effort in Richmond's downtown. Revitalize Richmond is a partnership among Earlham College, the Economic Development Corporation of Wayne County, the City of Richmond, and AP Development, targeting 5 iconic downtown properties. Indiana University will recommend that tuition and mandatory fees for in-state undergraduate students be held flat for the next 2 years. While IU leaders are proposing no increase in tuition or mandatory fees for in-state undergrads, the board will consider a proposed tuition increase of up to 2% for graduate programs, with an exception for some programs in the health and medical fields. In northern Indiana, fares on the South Shore Line are going up. The Northern Indiana Commuter Transportation District Board approving a 10% fare hike this week, the South Shore Line's first hike since 2018. Gary Mayor Eddie Melton casting the lone opposing vote. From the state's #1 source for Indiana business news, you're listening to Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Today, you either innovate or evaporate. We are accelerating the pursuit of progress, from the foods we eat to the heights we soar, because this is Indiana, the innovation capital of the world. We rally visionaries across industries, invest in connections as much as capital, and fuel our founders from dorm room to boardroom. Fuel your innovation with Elevate Ventures. Visit elevateventures.com.
Indiana's economy is on the move, and every region has a role to play. Join IBJ Media and Inside Indiana Business for the Innovate Indiana series, presented by Indiana University and Old National Bank. We're traveling to 10 regions across the state to spotlight business growth, workforce development, innovation, and Indiana's tech hubs. Don't miss this front row look at Indiana's future and the growth opportunities in your region. Find out when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/innovate. A historic theater in Fort Wayne is making an acquisition in hopes of growing its reach in the Northeast Indiana performing arts community. The Embassy Theater announcing this week it has acquired Audiences Unlimited, a nonprofit with the mission to improve access to the arts for those with limited access. The two organizations say the merger will lead to more inclusive arts programming in the region. This is Gary Dick for 93 WIBC.
We start off with major problems on the city's northeast side. 465 northbound is a parking lot. From the 56 Shadeland exit all the way over to 71st. Now the 3 right lanes are blocked with the crash, with more fire apparatus and emergency vehicles on the scene. You might want to give yourself a little bit of extra time, or you can take Arlington, hop over to Binford Boulevard as your alternates, because this is not going to get cleaned up anytime soon. It's in a construction zone. There are no shoulders, so it's going to be a while, especially because a lot more spots is needed. Rest of your roads are looking good. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
We have got 58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 6:36. We check on sports. Ryan Hedrick, what's going on?
Tony, good morning. The Indiana Pacers say they are not shaken after dropping Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals to the New York Knicks, 111-94. They still lead the series 3-2, and now it's back to Indy to try to finish the job.
I mean, we're a resilient group. We always want to respond when things don't go well. After a game like that, we understand what the stakes are. We're fine. There's no need to panic or anything. It's a tough loss.
Game 6, Saturday night at 8 o'clock. The Indiana Fever look to bounce back tonight after Wednesday night's loss to Washington without Caitlin Clark. Head coach Stephanie White says the team will play an entirely different game without Clark in the lineup.
Sort of re-engineering and looking at some of our more off-ball movement, timing, that spacing, that's a different kind of execution. It's something that we want to get to anyway so that we have a healthy balance.
And the Fever play the Connecticut Sun tonight. The Sun looking for its first win of the year. Sports brought to you by Ball State Athletics. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Denny Smith for Sundown Gardens and Miss M's Home and Garden. The Memorial Day sale is here. 20% off container trees and shrubs and 30% off pottery now through June 1st. Finish off your yard and garden for the summer with annuals, perennials, and hanging baskets still in stock, and save 20% off container trees and shrubs, 30% off pottery at the Memorial Day sale at Sundown Gardens, 186th Street and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 in Bargersville.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end.
The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell Groom's Cake Ice Cream is renewing its vows on the frozen aisle. Milk chocolate ice cream with chocolate cake pieces, chocolate-coated strawberry hearts, swirls of strawberry sauce, and chocolate icing. See you at the reception.
The good old days are being made right now.
The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell Ice Cream at your local grocer and pick up your favorite flavor today.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
This is James at Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling. You can trust us with all your heating and cooling needs. We have over 150 years of combined experience.
PricePointComfort.com. Price Point Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
Don't you know I'm loco?
5 years since the George Floyd riots. Don't worry. We've got a conversation to have. I will have that with you. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. I brought up just a little earlier this the Pacers lost to the Knicks in Game 5, and it was a rough loss. They got beat all the way around, 111-94. And the story that I take away is that in the post-game press conference, there's Greg Doyle from the Indy Star asking what are seemingly ridiculous questions of Pascal Siakam. And Siakam's like, are you all right? What is What is wrong with you?
How is that possible?
What do you mean?
How is it possible to not fight hard enough in game?
What are you talking about?
This is the question from a sports reporter. How is it possible to not fight hard enough? I didn't know that was a question.
They played harder than us. It's okay. We played hard, but they played harder. What's your point? I don't get it.
My point is, you're saying you guys got out-fought, and I'm saying...
That happens in the game, though. That's basketball.
In game 5, we didn't play hard?
You're good? You're good, bro? You're looking for something, I know, but damn.
Pascal Siakam is right. He's clearly looking for something. He's clearly looking to start a fight. You got out-fought in game 5. How could you let that happen? It's not so much a question as opposed to what specifically in strategy do you think didn't work for you tonight? Now, that would be a question. I'm not a sports guy, but what I've determined is I can do this. These sports guys all think they can do politics, and they can't. And Greg Doyle from the Indy Star, never mind that he blocked me on social media because he tried to get Danny Lopez fired from the Indiana Pacers. He did this. And so, in my view, to James Briggs, tried to get him fired because he had a political position they didn't like. Boys are not girls and girls are not boys. Can you imagine thinking that that's a problem? Greg Doyle's a guy, I once got invited to a concert at Cambridge, and I was in a suite. I was given the ticket, see a concert. And he was invited to the same concert in the same suite. And I was there with friends, and he was so mad I was there, actually threatened to punch me in the face if I said anything. Oh, he didn't do it to me. No. He didn't talk to me. No. Threats happen at the Indy Star. We forget about Michael Hicks, the economist. He had written back in October that Democrat voters banished the most virulent anti-Semitic and racist voices in their party. The GOP did the opposite. This was after the Madison Square Garden rally with Trump and Tony Hinchcliffe from Kill Tony. And I wrote back, this is a lie. And he wrote, I don't believe you'd say that to my face. And I said, pick a street corner. And he said, well, I don't get down to Indianapolis much, but I should be there in January. It's May, boo-boo. I have one working arm. Pick the street corner. Let's make sure we understand each other, guys. Hicks and Doyle. I'm right and you're wrong. Now, that might be upsetting to you. I can appreciate that. But I'm not right because I'm smarter, even though I probably am. I'll take that. I have that level of hubris. I'm smarter because I'm more honest than the two of you. The Democratic Party is a virulently anti-Semitic party, and to not notice that, Michael Hicks, is a lie. That's what you're doing. And Greg Doyle is bad at his job. I think that's an objective statement. Now, you could argue that's just an opinion. I can be fine with that. But Pascal Siakam doesn't know who you are? You cover sports for the newspaper in Indianapolis, and he doesn't know? You aren't even allowed to cover Caitlin Clark. Damn. That is a lot of stuff for the Indy Star just to allow to happen. So, Hicks, pick the street corner, because I will tell you to your face because you were wrong, and I'm telling you that I looked at that tweet and I said, that's a lie. I stick by that. And Doyle, you should really be better at your job. Block me or not on Twitter, it doesn't matter. You're not good at this. You should practice. Oh, and for James Briggs on the opinion side, you once told me on Twitter that I should mind my own business. So I don't want to hear from you. You mind your own business. The Indy Star is going to be in business. Stick to real reporting and clean up your messes. You guys look ridiculous. Matt Bear is out today. Jeremy Scott has traffic on the fives.
Well, Tony, on the northeast side, you're down to one lane on 465 northbound at 71st. It's all due to a multi-vehicle crash. Once this ambulance gets out of the way, we'll be back to the two right lanes, but still an absolute parking lot all the way back from 56 in Shadeland. If you're traveling on 65, 69, 70, or 74, those are all looking good, albeit just a little bit damp. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers on 146th Street and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at DrexelIM.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
58 degrees in the Do I have that right? I'm going to say yes. Why not? 58 degrees. Sure. In the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time right now is 6:45, and you have cash waiting for you. It's waiting for you in the Attorney General's office. It's called Indiana Unclaimed. Have you not heard of this? It's pretty important. You go to indianaunclaimed.gov, and your cash is waiting for you. When I say it's your cash, I mean it is yours. It's a final paycheck that you never got. It's a stock dividend you didn't even know you were expecting. It was a refund you didn't even know was waiting for you. And all this money collects, and there's no place for it to go because they don't know where you are, so it ends up with the Attorney General's office. And they've created indianaunclaimed.gov so you can get your cash. It's not free cash. It's not free money. It's your money. You earned it. You deserved it. It's waiting for you. So text my name, Tony. Text Tony to 46220 and see how fast and easy it is for you to get your money. Oh, and totally free. Or go to indianaunclaimed.gov. Just quick, easy to do. And next thing you know, you are getting a check from the Attorney General. Your money back to you. Go to indianaunclaimed.gov. indianaunclaimed.gov. Go get your cash.
Americans love using their credit cards, the most secure and hassle-free way to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Corporate megastores will make more money, and you pay the price. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
I gave it a shot, and I came in and had the procedure done. To me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago.
Tired of digging through noise to find real news? Go straight to WIBC.com. Local stories, statewide impact, national headlines, info that matters. When news breaks, WIBC.com is already on it. Stay on the know while you're on the go.
Five years ago, the George Floyd riots, and 5 years ago, this is what it sounded like on WIBC.
Monument Circle, the office buildings and restaurants nearby already bore the scars of Friday night, and now the monument itself has been attacked.
I'm Kurt Darling on Monument Circle. The protest has kind of swelled after three have kind of joined into one. There's a little bit more of defacing of property and some graffiti popping up all around the Monument Circle area. In fact, right at the base of the monument, you can see one tag that says, Justice for All BL.
Spokesperson Destiny Brown tells 93 WIBC News people were being told they would be on their own if they stayed.
Do not do anything that would dismantle the message behind this. I am all for nonviolence, but we know that the police will not be peaceful with us.
I'm John Herrick on Monument Circle. Robin Coleman is a protester who came out today. She said she lives in fear every day of what the police may do to her.
I am a person who's experienced inappropriate actions by the police. I've had police put shotguns to my head twice.
Which is why she says protests like this and speaking your mind are very important.
But they weren't protests like this, and I would even have said, you live every day in fear. That's a little bit more about you than reality. Our city got attacked. They set our city on fire, and nothing was done about it 5 years ago. I'm curious if we believe that any lesson was learned. If somehow we think we came out of this saying, okay, we know how to better handle this now. If you follow producer Carl on the Twitter X there, right, Carl Showbiz, he's got the pictures, because he was in downtown at those times, of the tear gas that was launched into the crowd. A crowd that was violent. People got killed in Indianapolis. Do we think that we've learned anything from those days 5 years ago? I put forth to you, no. I put forth to you that this city would react in the same way, the same non-response from Joe Hogsett you wouldn't see any action whatsoever. And then you would have people like the Indy Star blaming businesses that tried to protect their business. Why did you do that? You only added to the racial disharmony. What did we learn? What has come out of this? I put forth to you the only thing that came out of this was some people who claimed to run an organization called Black Lives Matter got rich. The implementation that had been long brewing of DEI, which has proven to divide people, it has proven to castigate people, and has proven to be an absolute failure in the workplace and everywhere else. And thank goodness it is being removed left and right, if only by government order, because somehow these companies still don't understand that when you tell some people they're oppressors regardless of what they've done, and some people they're oppressed regardless of what they've done, that's pretty messed up, that you're in the wrong. And you are. You always have been, you always will be. Nothing has come from it. I put forth to you that Colin Kaepernick can take all the knees he wants. Him and John Mellencamp can take a knee all they want. It changed nothing in America. Policing is not different in America. But you haven't heard stories of, oh my gosh, look at how the police are hunting black Americans, because that never happened. Did bad things happen from time to time? Absolutely. And we should be proactive about those things, so they never happen again. And anybody who was engaged in breaking the law or violating their job gets fired and is held to account. Black people are under attack by the police. The data never supported that. Never once, never, ever, never, ever. That is different than whether or not bad things happened. It's different whether or not some cops did awful things. Two things can be true. And certainly, as we have argued on this show very often, a black mom sending her black son out into the world for the day might view things differently than a white mom sending her white son out into the world that day or for the day. That's very true. But what we saw, what Black Lives Matter did, provided no help to no one except for those at the top who got really rich. From the businesses, including right here in Indianapolis, who wrote a check for their freedom. Here, we wrote a check. We're not racist. Please don't hurt us. Meanwhile, people died in Indianapolis. We let the city burn in Indianapolis. We allowed Monument Circle to be defaced. And I don't believe that this mayor would do anything different. 5 years later, you think that Joe Hogsett's like, how would I handle a situation like that? No. He would still be absent. We still don't know where he was. No one seems to care except those of us at WIBC. And in the rare moment, I'll speak for every piece of talent on this network, on this station. We are the only people in Indiana. I don't want to leave out the good people at WOWO or MNC and Kayla and Casey and some very, very good people in radio over there. We'll say Indianapolis. We'll just stick to here. We're the only people who seem to care about this. And if the argument is, you see, that's because it doesn't matter. No. It matters greatly. And we're going to keep asking. And maybe one day we'll get an answer to why Joe Hogsett let this city burn. 5 years later, we still don't know. And 5 years later, there is nothing that tells Hoosiers and residents of Indianapolis that if there was a riot again, it wouldn't burn again. Nothing at all says we've learned the lesson. Nothing at all says we're more prepared. Matt Bear is out today. Jeremy Scott has traffic.
Well, Tony, we've got two problems out there. We'll still have the big issue on the northeast side on 465 northbound. We're calling from Pendleton Pike to 71st with the crash now blocking the two right lanes. And 69 northbound on the south side, jam-packed from Epler to the westbound 465 ramp, where left lane's blocked there with a crash. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers on 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Technology Recyclers is the safe and ethical choice for your computer and electronics recycling. R2 certified, 100% landfill free, guaranteed destruction of data, and absolutely free pickups. Visit tech-recyclers.com.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT and cybersecurity? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today.
Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
With a B&W Premier Club membership, you'll stay ahead of breakdowns and costly repairs. Our members get routine maintenance, priority scheduling, and exclusive discounts, saving you money and keeping your family comfortable all season long. Visit bplusw.com or call 317-214-0108 for more information.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Did you check the markets the first thing this morning? Maybe mind on your money the entire weekend, wondering what happened? It's you and I both. It's not easy feeling secure with our financial portfolio right now. That's why we need Trajan Wealth. Matt Bear here. Hey, Trajan Wealth wants to make your money about you, your retirement hopes and dreams, and can help you get there. Call and schedule an appointment at 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Your first consultation is free. Trajan knows every portfolio should be different. Your retirement goals may not be the same as mine, and that's the way it should be. The fiduciary advisors at Trajan want to assemble your retirement portfolio by getting to know you first. It's a Hoosier concept to the core. Call today and learn more about these strategies. 317-480-4040 or visit TrajanWealth.com. Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Paid advertisement.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the Hogsett sexual harassment investigation is over. What the Indiana Pacers are saying about their performance in New York last night, and a new plant is going up in New Carlisle, creating all kinds of new jobs. After Fox News, you're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 7 o'clock.
The Trump tariffs remain in place for now. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. After a federal appeals court put a hold on a Wednesday trade court ruling that blocked many of the new U.S. tariffs imposed on imports from many countries. White House Counselor for Trade Peter Navarro tells Fox Business.
We feel like we're on very strong legal grounds in both the fentanyl tariff case and the reciprocal tariff case.
The trade court had ruled the president exceeded his authority with those tariffs, and he posted on Truth Social, were the judges motivated by Trump hatred? And he called their ruling a threat to presidential power, urging the Supreme Court to take quick, decisive action. Those tariffs led to a lot of trade negotiations with different countries. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent tells Fox talks with China have stalled, and the president and China's premier may have to get together.
Given the magnitude of the talks, given the complexity, that this is going to require both leaders to weigh in with each other.
There are also negotiations trying to get a new ceasefire in Gaza, and Hamas is now reviewing a U.S. proposal that Israel supports.
Reports suggest Hamas would release 10 living hostages and the remains of others during the 60-day pause. Israel would release hundreds of Palestinian prisoners and pull back forces to positions before the last ceasefire ended in March.
Fox's Jared Halpern at the White House. Someone who rose to fame after 9/11 has died. Bernie Kerik. He was New York City Police Commissioner and helped coordinate the emergency response to the terror attack. Later nominated to be the head of Homeland Security, but he withdrew and then had legal trouble.
He pleaded guilty to 8 felonies, including tax fraud and lying to the White House. Kerik spent nearly 3 years in prison and went on to get a pardon from President Trump. FBI Director Kash Patel announced his death, posting that Kerik passed away after a private battle with illness.
Fox's Jill Nato. In London, actor and comedian Russell Brand pleaded not guilty this morning to charges that he raped or sexually assaulted 4 women in allegations that date back between 1999 and 2005. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The heavily Democratic committee clears the Democratic mayor of any wrongdoing. Light rain on radar, 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 74. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:02. An independent investigation found Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett and his administration acted within the law on sexual harassment allegations in the city government.
We're definitely digesting this report. Like I said, we got this about an hour ago, so now it's time for us to look into what this report says and now start aligning some of our policy with more of what our moral and ethical code is with regards to sexual harassment.
Councilor Brian Maui, a Republican, says he's disappointed in the findings.
We need to know that we take this seriously. I'm disappointed by what happened today and what the outcome of what we saw at the end of this report. That it was basically just all legal, as they said. Legal and moral and ethical are different things, sure, but
and this whole special investigation cost you nearly $500,000. The Indiana Pacers fell to the New York Knicks last night, 111-94 in an uninspired performance in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals. Tyrese Halliburton scored just 8 points.
Yeah, rough night for me. I got to be better, setting the tone, getting downhill. I feel like I didn't do a great job of that. But yeah, I got to be better, and I'll be better in Game 6.
And the Indiana Pacers can lock in their appearance in the NBA Finals Game 6 here in Indy on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. A plea deal has been reached with the man accused of killing a little girl. Here's Chris Davis.
In January 2023, Oakley Snow was kidnapped from her biological father and was later found dead in a dresser in Morgan County. The 1-year-old's mother, Madison Marshall, will serve 25 years as part of her plea agreement. Now the man accused of actually killing the child, Roan Waters, has had the murder charge dropped and instead will face charges of neglect of a dependent resulting in death and 2 counts of neglect of a dependent, all felonies. That deal was reached Thursday. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Construction on GM's new battery plant near New Carlisle is ahead of schedule. They say steel structures are going up along State Road 2, and this project will create nearly 4,000 jobs. Police say they've arrested a man for setting fires at 3 different apartment complexes in Greenwood on Thursday. 50-year-old Ronnie Brasher charged with arson. Thankfully, nobody was hurt.
I was really scared.
but God was right beside me the whole time.
Tristan Rousey speaking to Wish TV. Him and his dad responded quick, got out of their home, and thankfully they weren't hurt. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. At 7:05, traffic on the fives. Good morning, Jeremy Scott.
Well, good morning, Ryan. It's been a little bit of a mess, to say the least. Northeast side, 465 northbound, now a parking lot from I-70 to 71st Street. That's all due to crash cleanup in the two right lanes. That might be clear shortly. I'm watching a lot of progress there. If you're coming out of downtown on 6570, you're hitting the skids all from Fletcher Avenue all the way to Raymond Street on 65 southbound. That's due to a new crash in the right lane. Also, 69 northbound heavy from Epler to the westbound 465 ramp on the city south side. That's all due to a crash on that exit ramp in the left lane. So basically the story of the day, take it easy with the slick conditions. Traffic is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off the free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Jeremy Scott with Traffic on the Fives. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist, what's going on?
Hey, good morning. We have a few rain showers out there for you this morning. Just a few spotty showers in Indianapolis, but heavier pockets of rain farther south. We'll get a little bit of a break in the precipitation into the afternoon before more scattered showers and storms develop this afternoon. Mainly cloudy, highs near 74. Tonight, some of those scattered showers and storms ending shortly after midnight will fall to 58. But the weekend, spectacular. Saturday, sunny, 75. Upper 70s on Sunday under mostly sunny conditions. And next week, a warm-up. Temperatures are going to climb into the 80s.
Well, there it is. Spring is dead.
It's gone.
Dead. Gone. Out. Finito. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
No more.
Sit here and mourn? Wear black and rent your clothes and scream out into the world, why, Lord, why? Or are you just going to turn on the air conditioning and move on with your day?
Turn on the air conditioning and move on. It's going to be great.
That is exactly it, Tara Hastings. I was explaining to Marcus Bailey earlier how rude you were yesterday.
Oh, I heard.
Yeah. And I'm not going to lie. Touch racist. Not going to lie.
Just a smidge.
A smidge. A smidge.
Mm-hmm.
A smattering. There was a smattering of unnecessary hate going on right there yesterday. So hopefully that's out of your system.
It's out, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's Friday. The weekend's going to be wonderful. I am living life. I'm ready to have a wonderful weekend.
Look at you.
I'm in a great mood.
Living large is Tara Hastings.
That is correct.
All right. I want you to enjoy it. I want you to have fun. I'm going to turn on the air conditioning.
Okay.
All right. I'll talk to you in a bit. Tara Hastings. She's fantastic. Wish TV meteorologist. I appreciate you. 58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:08.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard air dealer.
The most important thing is this, Jim. Our president wants America to win. The president laid out a bold vision for the United States, for America to reindustrialize the onshore manufacturing so that we can have a more resilient supply chain, so that we can create jobs locally, very importantly, so that we become great at manufacturing again.
If that's the case, why in the world is NVIDIA going to be manufacturing in China? Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. It's weird to see Senator Jim Banks and Senator Elizabeth Warren on the same side of an issue. But NVIDIA, which makes chips, they are going to create a facility in Shanghai. And both Banks and Warren wrote a letter to who you just heard there, the chief executive of NVIDIA, letter NVIDIA, that's how it's spelled, saying, what are What are you doing? There's a national security issue here. There's a economic security issue here. You know they're going to steal your stuff. Never mind what you're giving them access to. What possibly are you doing? I think this is right. So that was him on CNBC on the show Mad Money with Jim Cramer, which if Jim Cramer says X, I do Y and Z. That's just me personally. But the argument is the same. NVIDIA with more manufacturing in China is a problem. A serious, serious problem. And this is the only thing I like about this, because there's very little to like about Elizabeth Warren, is that there is this recognition. And I saw this in the Biden administration as well. And we discussed it. And when something is good, you should appreciate it. There's a recognition that absolutely China can't be trusted. China's the enemy. What are we doing? If we, in all of the divide that exists, have this in common, we at least have an opportunity for something better. We do. Now, I don't know if the squad is down for this kind of stuff. The Ocasio-Cortez, Jasmine Crockett group, the Tim Walz group, who never met a communist he didn't absolutely adore or want to show his jazz hands to. You know, you ever see Tim Walz move? That's Tim Walz. I was doing a Tim Walz impression for the live stream, and now I just feel bad because I'm pretty sure that becomes a meme. I don't know what they do. But some Democrats still have this vestige in them of, there is an enemy out there, and it's not always America. With that, we'll see what happens. The Pacers take the loss yesterday, 111-94, and it wasn't that close. It was just a bad beat. But now they come back home. Game 6, Saturday night. There are tickets. They are not cheap, children. But man, hotels, bars, restaurants. Is there a reservation left at St. Elmo's? There can't be. There can't possibly be a reservation left. I'll tell you where you can go eat. It's going to be a good weekend. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Turning 65, new to Medicare, or just moved? If you qualify for Medicare and Medicaid, a Humana Dual Eligible Special Needs Plan, a D-SNP, may give you the extra benefits you're looking for. A D-SNP helps cover things like prescriptions and checkups, but it also helps pay for essentials, too. With a Humana D-SNP, you get $225 a month for eligible groceries, rent, utilities, and more. Plus, whatever you don't spend carries over to the next month. You may even get benefits like $0 copays on routine prescriptions, plus routine dental, vision, or hearing coverage. All of this could make a difference for your health and wallet. Learn more at GetHumana.com. Humana, a more human way to healthcare. Humana is a coordinated care HMO SNP plan with a Medicare contract and a contract with the Indiana Medicaid program. Enrollment in any Humana plan depends on contract renewal. Allowance amounts cannot be combined with other benefit allowances. Limitations and restrictions may apply.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare, and I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators. Up to $8,000 off select 2025 2024 Nautilus or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575. Nautilus MSRP 61,995. Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through May 31st, 2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, just $6 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade. This Saturday, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit centralindianagunshows.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear, what's going on? Nope, not Matt. Jeremy Scott, what's up?
I'll start off on the northeast side where that's been our big problem of the morning. 465 northbound now, just the right lane block at 71st Street from that much earlier multi-vehicle crash. Cleanup going along quite nicely, but still waiting a couple more tows. Your jam's out all the way back from I-70, so you definitely want to find an alternate route. That alternate route may not be 65 as southbound on 65-70. You're heavy from the north split all the way over to Raymond on 65 southbound. That's all due to a crash in the right lane. Of course, we do have northbound gapers to that as well. Those start, we're going to call that all the way back to Edgewood. Also, if you're traveling on 69 northbound on the south side, you're heavy from Banta to the westbound 65 ramp. Left lane there is blocked due to a crash. Traffic is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping at Good Radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:16. The popcorn moment coming up, brought to you by Boer Remodeling, B-O-O-H-E-R, BoerRemodeling.com. Your kitchen, your bathroom, that basement. If it's in the four walls, Boer has got you covered. So this is a fantastic group of people. Rob and Kathy, the whole team that they have for over 2 decades, taking care of the people of Central Indiana. And actually, when you're in their showroom, and they have got a showroom. You head over to their offices. Like, you want to see some of the things that they can do when it comes to kitchens, when it comes to master baths. They've got things laid out, all options, ideas, thoughts that you may have never had. Because when it comes to, let's say, redoing a kitchen, it's not about what you're told you need to redo. It's about what you want to do. If you want a kitchen that has a space that shows off grandma's little tchotchkes or shows off your bourbon collection, they've got you covered. There are no rules when you talk to Boer Remodeling. There is, what is it you want done? What is it you're trying to achieve? And how can they help you do it? They still utilize the best materials. They still utilize the most skilled craftsmen in Central Indiana. They deliver quality work on time with a service-oriented attitude, and they stand behind their work with a 2-year workmanship guarantee. They redid my guest bathroom. It still looks amazing. Everything perfect about it. Great communication, because their process, that 5-step design process they have, it means you're going to get exactly what you want every single time. Talk to Boer today. 317-852-5546. Tell them Tony Katz sent you. 317-852-5546. Boer Remodeling, 852-5546, or online at Boer, B-O-O-H-E-R, BoerRemodeling.com. The popcorn moment. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. It's the story you need to hear to believe. Then grab your popcorn, because there is more. A series of things that I have to get to. I'm not going to get to everything today. Don't forget to tune in at noon to Tony Katz today, and we will do the Friday audio dump as we often do. This was Scott Bessent on Fox. He's the Treasury Secretary. Now, it's a longer clip, but I almost want to tell you what you're about to hear, but I want you to hear it for yourself. And then guess what part of this I think is going to get Scott Bessent in trouble. Right? What part of this is going to get Scott Bessent in trouble? We're talking about the one big beautiful bill, and the Senate wants to make changes, and the House is saying, let the Senate make changes, and then send it back. What do you want from me? We just need to pass this. There are things in the one big beautiful bill that will codify the tax cuts that are certainly worthy. Absolutely. But there's not enough spending cuts, and that has been the issue. And you've got a lot of senators opposed to this, and they're not wrong. So let's stop screaming this whole MAGA thing that they're wrong. No. You need some cuts. Now, how do the cuts come? Well, do they come in a reconciliation bill, or do they come through a process called rescission? RECESSION, rescission? I believe I'm pronouncing that, spelling that properly. Which is another process that doesn't involve that 60-vote threshold. Everything is designed to not have what's known as cloture, starting debate and stopping debate to then get to a vote, to keep the Democrats out of it. That's what's being done here. We can all be perfectly clear about that, because somehow Democrats are opposed to tax cuts again. But they need more cuts to get some Republicans on board, and they're not wrong in my view. But this is Bessent, Treasury Secretary, talking about it. It's a longer clip, as I said. Listen, you tell me where the story is here.
I think Elon came in and in 100 days did some very important work. And I'd characterize two principles with Doge here. One is the absolute level of cost cutting, which Elon has set in motion. So Doge is not going to end with Elon. It is a way of thinking about cutting costs, and it's also a way of thinking about making the government more productive and more efficient. So, I would expect that these would be the initial savings, and they will continue from here. At Treasury, we have incorporated several members of the Doge team. They have become the fully trained, fully compliant Treasury employees, and they are going to be working continuously to ferret out waste, fraud, and abuse within the government system.
So let's just pause there for a moment. Everything he said there, I absolutely wholeheartedly agree with. The people who want to say Doge never did anything, Doge was terrible, Doge was a waste of time, untrue. If you want to argue that it didn't cut much, I'll agree with you there, which is not a reason to throw it out. It's rather a reason to continue and do even more. Funny, when Democrats see a program, they're always in favor of enhancing the program, building the program, growing the program. Somehow, when the political right wants to put in a program to get rid of all that waste, fraud, and abuse, it didn't cut enough, get rid of it. 50% of something is better than 100% of nothing. The cuts are good, and that these guys who were part of his team are now Treasury employees, and they're going to keep going. I love every part of this. So far, all good, and I think this is important what he said. Now.
So I think that the meter is going to keep going with these savings, and then on the other side, we're going to deliver a better product to the American people. Because Brett, I lived in New York, I lived in Florida, and the state of New York spends about $235 billion a year. State of New York spends about $235 billion a year. State of Florida spends about $125 billion. Both states have approximately the same number of people, but Florida doesn't have an income tax. And I can tell you, having lived in both, it's better not to have an income tax, and Florida gives better services. So we want the U.S. to be more like Florida, less like New York.
Okay. Maybe I'm getting full meta here. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. What's the problem with that statement? What's the problem with that statement? I didn't ask producer Carl to even listen. He might be doing work. Producer Carl, I'll ask you. What is the problem with that statement?
That he wants America to be more like Florida and less like New York. I don't see a problem with that. What did I miss?
The problem, as I see it, is not a problem for me. It's a problem for MAGAville, because that's giving all the credit in the world to Ron DeSantis. And politically, I think that's going to be a problem. Tell me I'm off base here. MAGAville's going to go nuts. We want to be more like Florida and less like New York. Ron DeSantis made it all happen. Oh, Ron DeSantis, it's not his time. Oh, Ron DeSantis is terrible. Oh, Ron DeSantis is the worst. Why would you ever support him? Oh, I don't know. Every reason Scott Bessent, the Treasury Secretary, just mentioned. Oh, yeah. Oh, if I'm the DeSantis team, I'm like, well, would you look at that? Now, don't get me wrong. Ron DeSantis has a real problem. He had his shot, and he missed horrifically. It doesn't mean you can't take another shot. My God, he has got a field to go up against Vance and Rubio. Don't forget Hegseth and Duffy in parts of that conversation. There's going to be a lot. There are governors to contend with, other governors now. Does anybody think that Sarah Huckabee Sanders will forever be on the sidelines in Arkansas? No. He had the moment and momentum, and a team that screwed him with his pants on. And that is his fault because he didn't lead that team. And yes, he has a real issue with connection. I don't care about that part. I just want the guy to do the work. Personality is not the thing that moves me on any level of election. But if you're one of these guys already part of Team Trump in the cabinet, in the administration, you hear that, you're like, what are you doing to me? That hit me like a ton of bricks. Oh, the fact that Besson is right? Yes, you want to be more Florida and you want to be less New York. Absolutely, positively true. And now that Ron DeSantis is talking about getting rid of property taxes, hey, Mike Braun, governor of Indiana, let's do that. That is something. I think that's an interesting commentary right there that's going to be taken all sorts of ways. Matt Bear has got traffic, but he's out today. So Jeremy Scott has got traffic. What's up, Jeremy?
Well, Tony, we're dealing with 3 crashes right now in our system. Let's go to 465 northbound, where crash claim continues at 71st Street on the city's northeast side. You're calling all the way back from I-70. If you're traveling out of downtown, 6570 southbound heavy from the north split all the way over to Raymond on 65 southbound. That's due to crash cleanup in the right lane. Might have another crash in that stretch as well. Also, 69 northbound heavy, Banta to the westbound 465 ramp with a crash blocking the left lane of that ramp. Basically, everything is slow because of the weather moving through. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
What a fun show this afternoon. Not only is it Beer Sample Friday, but it's the Summer of Allison. And producer Allison is going to be on Celebrity Beer Bong today. We've also got the top stories in Indy.
Adventure is calling. Life Church invites kids ages 4 years old through 5th grade to True North, a fun-filled vacation Bible school where they'll discover how to follow Jesus, our ultimate guide. Join us June 9th through the 13th for games, music, crafts, and Bible stories that point kids to God's truth. It's completely free. Register now at lifechurchin.com. Life Church, leading kids to Jesus, the True North.
Hey folks, Scott Wilson here from Wilson Farm Market. Even in winter, we're bringing you the best in farm fresh flavors. Stop in for our fresh salad bar, hot and crispy wing bar, and a cheese selection that is second to none. Got a sweet tooth? Our homemade pies, creamy fudge, and old-fashioned candy will hit the spot. Come see us on US 31 just north of Carmel. We're open every day 9 to 6. At Wilson Farm Market, we're all about fresh, local, and delicious. See you soon.
It's JFE for Sundown Gardens and Miss M's Home and Garden. The Memorial Day sale is here. 20% off container trees and shrubs and 30% off pottery now through June the 1st. Finish off your yard and garden for the summer with annuals, perennials, and hanging baskets still in stock. And save 20% off container trees and shrubs and 30% off pottery at the Memorial Day sale at Sundown Gardens at 186 and Spring Mill Road in Westfield, and Miss M's Home and Garden on State Road 135 south of Whiteland Road in Bargersville.
Garage door problems? Call today for service today. Garage Doors of Indianapolis services all makes of garage doors 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call today for service today. 875-4577. Call today for service today. Get it fixed right now. Call Garage Doors of Indianapolis at 875-4577 or visit doorstoday.com.
In the morning, call 875-4577. Service today. Today.
I was seriously injured. It was definitely somebody's fault, and I didn't actually know who, so I needed to call someone. I was really happy to have a law firm like Hensley that had ethics. I made the best call.
It happens. Hire Hensley.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining in distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
Integrity, responsibility, humility.
Commitment, discipline, grit.
Leadership, resilience, dependability.
This is what it takes to be a high school student athlete. It's also what it takes to be a high school sports fan. Plus,
loyalty, sportsmanship, respect.
Support, encouragement, being a positive role model.
Buying a ticket, showing up, cheering loud and proud.
I'm Robert Falkins, Assistant Commissioner of the IHSAA, and these student athletes need your support in the stands.
I'm Sawyer Tittman from Fort Wayne Snyder High School.
I'm Allie Ward from Boonville High School.
I'm Owen Fouts from Yorktown High School.
It means a lot when we have fans at our games to cheer us on.
It helps us dig even deeper and do our very best.
It takes all of us to represent our school and community with pride.
I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig. Be a champion of high school sports by buying a ticket to your high school's athletic events. This is supporting your student athletes. This is showing up for your team. This is your IHSAA.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or drexelin.com.
If you're having issues with your current heating or cooling system and you don't know if you should repair it or replace it, give us a call for a free second opinion at PricePointComfort.com.
Price Point Comfort is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air dealer.
What a fun show this afternoon. Not only is it Beer Sample Friday, but it's the summer of Allison. And producer Allison is going to be on Celebrity Beer Bong today. We've also got the top stories in Indy.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Steel is the backbone of the Golden Age. Light rain on radar, heavier to the east, and that's where the rain is moving. 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Your high today, 74. The rain should be completely out of the city by about 9 o'clock. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 7:31. President Trump is in Pittsburgh today
to promote a deal for Japan-based Nippon Steel to invest in U.S. steel. The White House says it will create about 70,000 jobs and add about $14 billion to the U.S. economy.
That's Fox's Madeline Rivera.
They insist the agreement will keep the American steelmaker under U.S. control. But the United Steelworkers Union is skeptical, saying the partnership raises more questions than answers.
And President Trump had previously pledged to stop Nippon Steel from buying U.S. steel after a deal was blocked by former President Joe Biden. Former New York City Police Commissioner Bernie Kerik has died at 69.
I come from a time in New York City from 1994 when Giuliani took over to 2002 when he left. We dropped violent crime by 65% and murder by 70%.
Kerik was police commissioner in New York City from 2000 to 2001. He pleaded guilty to 8 felonies in 2009, but was pardoned by Donald Trump in 2020. The House Oversight Committee is looking into former President Joe Biden's use of the auto pen, saying that some aides exploited his mental state.
Does it invalidate a lot of the orders that were issued under this administration and potentially some legislation that was signed as well?
And that's Representative Byron Donald speaking with Laura Ingraham on Fox News last night. You may be getting some help if you were affected by tornadoes and storms from March 30th through April 9th. Chris Davis explains.
Those storms, which included tornadoes in Carmel and Brownsburg, were certainly no picnic to go through, but neither is picking up the pieces. And Governor Braun has asked for help from the federal government through FEMA, says the Indiana Department of Homeland Security. Here's how that works. The request first goes to FEMA. Then they make a recommendation. They send that recommendation to President Trump. He looks at it, decides whether it meets the parameters, and then they'll get back to us here in Indiana. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
College campuses around the U.S. and some here in Indianapolis are making some changes. Johnette Cruz has that story.
IU Indianapolis is adjusting its campus environment and diversity programs. The university recently removed 2 prominent signs, including Black Lives Matter and the other one which says discrimination has no place here, along with announcing that its system-wide DEI office will close. Officials say these changes are part of efforts to comply with the evolving federal and state guidance on diversity, equity, and inclusion. The moves have initiated campus discussions about IU's approach. Johnette Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Sports on WIBC, brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com at Madison Square Garden last night.
To start the game, we just didn't have the right level of force, the right level of attitude necessary, in this environment.
Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle talking about the 111-94 loss to the New York Knicks in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Finals.
It was a bad start. We never had a lead in the game. There were a multitude of things that were going wrong. There were stretches during the game where we got a little bit of traction, but never enough.
Benedict Mathurin showed up, scored 23 points off the bench, but the Pacers struggled from the field. Tyrese Halliburton only had 8 points, but the Pacers still lead the best-of-7 series 3-2, and they have a chance to close it out here in Indianapolis Saturday night. Tonight at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, the Indiana Fever will try to keep the Connecticut Sun winless and bounce back from a loss on Wednesday.
A quick turnaround, so just focusing on getting back to what we're good at and playing our brand of basketball and finding flow on offense and defense. And yeah, we're excited to turn the page.
And that's guard Lexi Hall. Tonight's game tips off at 7:30. The Fever are a big favorite. They'll be playing without Caitlin Clark, who will be out at least 2 weeks with an injury. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 7:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Jeremy Scott.
Well, Ryan, it's getting a little bit better on two of our incidents, starting on the northeast side, 465 northbound at 71st Street. That crash is clear, but the damage has been done. You're crawling all the way back from I-70. Also 65 southbound, just before Raymond. That earlier crash, it was in the right lane's gone, but unfortunately that delay starts on 70 westbound right around Keystone. New crash on the south side. It's on 465 westbound at Kentucky Avenue. Left lane's blocked. You're heavy all the way back from Man. And crash cleanup continues on 69 northbound on the ramp to westbound 460. You're heavy all the way back from Southport, so a little messy on your Friday morning commute. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers on 146th Street and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
We have got 58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time right now is 7:36.
Whenever I'm out a-wandering, chasing a rainbow dream, I often stop and think about a place I've never seen.
Today on the marketplace, you can be your own pope. It's finally your opportunity. Like Father Guido Sarducci, Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Great to be with you. During downtime, I'm trying to clear my head, get ready for what's next on the show. I find myself on Facebook Marketplace. The Marketplace segment brought to you by IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It's your cash. Go get it. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. It belongs to you. IndianaUnclaimed.gov. There's all sorts of stuff on the Marketplace. Odd stuff, interesting stuff, strange stuff, cool stuff, all sorts of things on the Marketplace. I bought, I have sold, all of it. This is an interesting one because it's for free. It's free, producer Carl. As in, no cash has to change hands. Ladies and gentlemen, free church pews. Right? You've got 3 of them. There's only 8 left, as I know it. 3 are 14 feet long, and they're a darker wood. 1 is 18 feet long and a darker wood, and then 4 are 14 feet long and of a lighter wood. All veneer wood, not solid wood. Unusable without the cushions because of the lip on the edges. Okay, now you know. They're available for pickup today and tomorrow. No hold. No holds. They will not hold these, and you're going to need a long trailer and help to load them. Yeah, that's true. I'm actually looking for a gun safe and realized that if to order a gun safe is one thing, but if somebody can't place it for me, what I've just basically ordered just a lot of tonnage. It's just going to sit in the middle of the driveway. So don't ask if they're still available. They won't respond. This is in Carmel. It costs nothing. If you want to be your own pope, if you want to have, I don't know, you could use it as church pews, or you could use it for a entertainment venue, all sorts of things. There it is. It's even got the spots in the back of the pews, so you can put a prayer book. Or I don't know, maybe a copy of People Magazine. I'm not here to judge. It's all right there for you and costs nothing. Zero. If I thought I could break into Matt Bear's apartment, I would pick these up and I would just put them in his living room. He's on assignment right now, Carl. He's not even there. I would immediately be doing that. But this might be too big. What could we put into Matt Bear's apartment? We just break in and can we go all Real Genius and just fill it with popcorn?
Or get him a year's supply of oatmeal.
Oh, you just want to fill his place with boxes of oatmeal?
Is oatmeal on sale on the marketplace?
I've never looked. Oh, you know what? All right, I'll look. Hold on. Oatmeal. So Matt Bear does this thing where every night he eats 1,500 calories of oatmeal. That's what he does. Every single night. And he eats it allegedly in bed and then sometimes falls asleep with the oatmeal, and then he wakes up and the oatmeal's all over him. And he's like, what did I just do with this oatmeal? And the oatmeal says, shh, don't you worry about it, lover. And it's very weird. It's very, very odd. So no oatmeal, but somebody is selling oatmeal cream pies.
You should get that for him.
Oh my God, this person makes them. Store-bought cream pies just don't taste the same after having a bite of these soft, homemade oatmeal cream pies. I'm sorry. That might be the most pornographic sentence I've ever read on radio. A full dozen is $22. All right, you want me to get these from Matt Bear to have these delivered on Tuesday?
Yeah.
All right, I'm in. Can you deliver to Indianapolis? All right, I'll spend $22 on Matt Bear. All right, I've asked there. No actual oatmeal, but the church pews are available. They're free. Honestly, you got to have a specific need for them, but this is, I think, a very good deal. This is worthwhile. If I were you, I'd get the church pews before it's too late. The full listing is at WIBC.com. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Hammer and Nigel.
Trump 2028. Somebody's buddy's like, open up the rock. Throw them all out there, middle of the ocean.
I'll even get Michael Bay. Let's get Michael Bay. Great director.
We're going to rename San Francisco Bay Michael Bay. We're going to open up Alcatraz. And we're going to make Canada pay for it. I'm here for it all, man. I am here for it all.
Hammer and Nigel. Weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
It's the first day of the first grade, and she found a new best friend. It's a laid-back Sunday afternoon you wish would never end. The homemade taste of Bluebell and good friends gathered round. The good old days are being made right now.
Bluebell Groom's Cake Ice Cream is renewing its vows on the frozen aisle. Milk chocolate ice cream with chocolate cake pieces, chocolate-coated strawberry hearts, swirls of strawberry sauce, and chocolate icing. See you at the reception.
The good old days are being made right now. The good old days are being made right now.
Look for Bluebell ice cream at all Kroger and Payless supermarkets.
Road trip!
This summer at Tire Discounters, your tires are your passport to savings, because you're driving to Paris,
Texas,
then it's off to Rome,
Georgia,
and you'll be kissing the Blarney Stone in Dublin,
Ohio.
Right now, save up to $514 when you buy 4 tires, and that includes a free alignment and oil change. Stop at Tire Discounters before you see the world.
Big Joe here for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical.
Summer heat is coming. Will your air conditioner be ready? Don't risk an expensive breakdown. A quick tune-up from B&W catches problems early and keeps your family cool and comfortable. Join thousands of Hoosiers who trust B&W. Call 317-214-0108 or go to bplusw.com today.
B&W HVAC Plumbing and Electrical, your American Standard dealer since 1961.
It's the Bash Sale, the biggest automotive sale in history. Your local Bill Estes dealerships are coming in hot with deals on trucks you don't want to miss. We have a huge selection of trucks at one easy online stop. Brand new Chevy, Ford, GMC, Jeep, Ram, and Toyota trucks with a massive pre-owned selection too. Plus, our fair and direct upfront pricing means what you see is what you pay. Shift into savings during the Bash Sale, only at Bill Estes dealerships, and drive away in your dream truck today. Online at BillEstesTrucks.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text PACK to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful Fed incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text PEC to 321-321. That's PACK to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Traffic on the 5s. Jeremy Scott in for Matt Bear. What's happening?
Well, Tony, we start on the south side where 69 northbound still heavy from Southport to the westbound 465 ramp. That's all due to crash in the left lane. Once you get past that on 465, you're heavy from Man to Kentucky with a new crash in the left lane we mentioned last report. Other than that, 65 southbound, the earlier crash at Raymond has been cleared off. That delay still goes all the way back to westbound 70 at Keystone. Northbound, you're heavy from Edgewood to 465, Raymond to the south split. Also on the east side, 465 northbound, heavy 70 to 71st with that much earlier crash. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th Street and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 7:46.
The Attorney General's office wants to put your money back in your pocket. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov and search for yourself, your loved ones, or your business. It's fast, easy, and free.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with national LTE coverage. Go to rapidradios.com and you'll get up to 60% off free UPS shipping. Add code RADIO for an additional 5% off.
Busy day? No problem. The WIBC Mashup podcast catches you up with standout moments from your favorite shows. Fresh episodes every weekday. One click, all the good stuff. Get your daily fix. Search WIBC Mashup wherever you get your podcasts.
Inside Indiana Business Radio, the news you need to get ahead. Indiana's business news leader, weekdays at 6:32 a.m. and 5:56 p.m. on WIBC.
When you golf in Missouri, the courses are so close, you'll spend more time on the fairway than the freeway. After the back nine, enjoy world-class dining and distilleries, shops, spas, museums, and more. Find your new golf MO at visitmo.com.
America is heading in the right direction. This is a survey from Rasmussen, May 18th to May 22nd. 48% say the country is headed in the right direction. 47% say the U.S. is on the wrong track. 5% is not sure. That's a majority. And that doesn't happen. But why would they think that if everything MSNBC and CNN tells us is that we're all going to die and we're all racists and we are all xenophobes and everything is terrible? Because cable news doesn't decide, you do. Talk radio doesn't decide, you do. It's just talk radio is far more honest and far more connected with the people listening to it. There are issues. There are problems. These things shouldn't be denied. But there's an attempt to make things better. It's not all working as fast as anybody would like, and some of it's not working. Some of it is. And every time the left is opposed to these deportations, the left continues to fail itself, whether it's here in Indiana or whether it's nationwide. And every time the left is opposed to tax cuts, they fail themselves, and they fail America, and they want to because ideologically they're not us. They're not like us. They are something different, and it is not American. They can scream and yell about how dare you not call us Americans. I'll say it very clearly. The America that the left envisions is not the America that the rest of us want. It isn't. It's an interesting bit of polling, and I've got it. If you go to TonyKatz.com, you'll see it posted over there. Then there is the story about the investigation into Thomas Carl Cook, the former chief of staff to Mayor Joe Hogsett, who was involved in sexual impropriety, and then some investigation was done, but we'll never see it because they won't show it to us, and who knows whether it was done properly. And then he was relieved, if you will. He got another job. I don't know if the law firm he worked at was ever told of his sexual impropriety. And then Joe Hogsett brought him back for his reelection for term number 3, which has been a disaster so far. It hasn't been. The city is somehow on this massive upswing. If there are good things, and there's the redo of Circle Center Mall, for example, that has nothing to do with Joe Hogsett. That has to do with Hendricks and people having a vision, something Joe Hogsett doesn't have. All I've got so far from this term of Joe Hogsett is him appearing in public looking like maybe he's under the influence of something. You look at the video and you decide. And screaming, I'm not scared, all right? I'm not running to something. I may be running from things. How'd you bust your lip? Where were you the nights of the riots? Oh, we can go on with the questions. But the story here is that you hire this guy who's involved in sexual abuse, you bring him back. So there's a big investigation. As the committee chair, Krista Carlino, states, a lot to digest. There's a report that's over 50 pages long. And what does the report say? That Hogsett handled sexual harassment allegations, concluded that the city acted within legal bounds. Translation? Oh, Hogsett followed the rules. The hell he did. Within legal bounds, this is now our standard? Son of a gun. They are also recommending changes to the city's policies and oversight structures. He gets away with it. Thomas Carl Cook gets away with it. Is this guy still in Indianapolis? Is he working? Someone hired him? Don't worry. He'll be working with another candidate. The left has no shame. None. Can we ask about Senator Greg Taylor, who we invited on the show and we haven't heard back yet? Senator Taylor, what's wrong here? We saw each other at the race. You said, oh, you're the guy who's afraid to have me on. I laughed because you're silly. And said, hey, when do you want to come on? And you said, no, you call me. Producer Carl reached out. Haven't heard back yet. Haven't heard back yet. We'll keep trying. We'll see if you're the kind of guy who has a conversation about your issues as well. Democrats, again, doing nothing, saying nothing. Oh, he can't be in leadership. All right. This is why we said at the time, I don't want to hear about so-called feminist groups in Indianapolis. You don't exist. You are not real. You come out of the woodwork when there's a Republican to bash. No. You have two leading Democrats, and you guys are silent. Oh, you wrote a letter. Well, bravo. If my arm worked, I would clap for you, but it doesn't. So here, I'll do this instead. Nope, that didn't work. Republican, that didn't work. Oh, you should have heard it, though. It would have been great if it had played. Here it is. That's what I think of your letter. Oh, so strong. So strong. He followed the rules, did Joe Hogsett. If this is, Lord only knows what this cost the taxpayer when it's all said and done. If you want to say that this is enough, City County Council, you can. You now have your out. Oh, the cost is $450,000. $450,000 is what the city spent They suggest that does this firm that did the investigation that we create an independent inspector general, establish an independent human resources board, remove the Office of Equal Opportunity from the Office of Corporation Counsel, make it an independent agency. How about we just get rid of it? Update all anti-harassment, anti-discrimination, retaliation, and non-fraternization policies. Revamp the training policies. Track training completion. Oh, and number 7, don't hire Thomas Carl Cook. How about the idea that they brought him back? Does this report say anything about this? I don't know. I'll read it. I'll read it over the weekend. Really, this is up to the people of Indianapolis. Do you still want this kind of garbage? And the political party that allows this kind of garbage to stay in office with nothing in terms of punishment? It's up to you. Matt Bear's out today. Jeremy Scott, has traffic.
Let's cook up some traffic while we're at Tony. 69 northbound heavy from Southport to the westbound 465 wrap. Crash lamp still takes out the left lane. Also, once you get on to westbound 465, you're heavy man to Kentucky with a crash in the left lane. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Canetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 in River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
You may not have 1,000 horsepower, but you're always racing, whether it's to work, to pick something up, or drop someone off. So go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Shop any of Hubler's 13 locations or visit drivehubler.com and choose from over 2,000 vehicles. Chevys, Fords, Toyotas, GMCs, Buicks, Nissans, Acuras, Mazdas, Hondas, and many more. All makes, all models, certified vehicles, luxury vehicles, even the hard-to-find ones. Plus, every Hubler Q-certified vehicle is covered by a 128-point vehicle inspection and a free Carfax history report.
'Cause Hubler's got you covered.
No matter where you're racing to, go the distance, knowing Hubler's got you covered for 100,000 miles. Visit drivehubler.com or any of our 13 locations.
Cover me!
Warranty on select models less than 9 years old.
Hey, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct, and May is officially the kickoff to home improvement season. And right now, during their home improvement season sale, you'll get an incredible 50% off your windows. Yes, half off. You heard right. You can upgrade your home with beautiful, energy-efficient windows for half the cost. But it gets even better. For a limited time, you'll get no interest and no payments for 12 months. That's a whole year to enjoy your new windows before you pay a single cent. And here's the cherry on top. You'll receive a free entry door with your window purchase. Now, some restrictions may apply, so to get all the information and schedule your free in-home estimate, call Universal Windows Direct today at 317-659-7574, 317-659-7574. Universal Windows Direct's home improvement season sale. Half off your windows, no interest, no payments for 12 months. 317-659-7574. Tell them Rob sent you.
Here's a harsh fact. 40% of women and nearly 20% of men suffer from varicose or spider veins. Left untreated, these veins can cause tired, heavy legs, swelling, burning, cramping, aching, even restless leg syndrome. In some cases, it can lead to serious health risks like blood clots. USA Vein Clinics offers minimally invasive treatments that take as little as 15 minutes, covered by most insurances. Call 317-516-6861 and schedule your appointment today. Don't wait. 317-516-6861 for free information today. Imagine walking, exercising, and sleeping peacefully again. Varicose and spider veins won't go away on their own. USA Vein Clinics can help. Call 317-516-6861 for fast, easy, affordable solutions. USA Vein Clinics treatments are covered by most insurance plans. Don't put this off any longer. Call 317-516-6861.
Hi, Jeff Roush for Tom Roush Lincoln. Right now, get Lincoln's employee pricing on most all new Lincolns at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers. Get up to $20,000 off select 2024 Navigators, up to $8,000 off select 2024 Nautilus, or up to $7,000 off select 2024 Corsair at Tom Roush Lincoln in Fishers.
Navigator MSRP 105,575, Nautilus MSRP 6195, Corsair MSRP 47,820. Offers good through May 31st, 2025. Navigators excluded from employee pricing. Subject to credit approval. See dealer for complete offer details.
Thy ticket, Lady Jennifer of Coolidge.
Well, many thanks, good sir. Here'th my Discover card.
They accept Discover at Renaissance fairs?
Yeah, they do here. Discover's accepted at the places I love to shop. Getteth with the times.
With the times? You're playing the lute.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty good, right?
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, the price tag for the Joe Hogsett sexual harassment investigation is in, and the Indiana Pacers are coming back to Indianapolis after Fox News. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1, Indianapolis. It's 8 o'clock.
A fond farewell. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. That's what Elon Musk will get at the White House today as his tenure ends leading the Department of Government Efficiency, though to Democrats it's good riddance after Musk's controversial work pushing for federal job and spending cuts.
The president says on Truth Social this will be Musk's last day, but not really, because he will always be with us, helping all the way. Doge estimates it has saved about $175 billion, amounting to about a little more than $1,000 per taxpayer. That is far less than Musk's initial target of $2 trillion.
As Fox's Madeline Rivera, the president also posted rants on Truth Social over a trade court ruling blocking many of his tariffs on imports, wondering if the judges were motivated by Trump hatred, calling their decision horrific and damaging to the United States. However, Fox's Jared Halpern reports from the White House.
A federal appeals court is allowing the Trump administration to continue collecting tariffs, putting a lower court ruling on hold that found President Trump exceeded his authority by imposing reciprocal and universal tariffs. Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says cabinet officials are in touch with counterparts around the world
to let them know the United States will still be at the negotiating table.
Now to different negotiations trying to stop the war in Gaza. Here's Caroline Leavitt again.
I can confirm that Special Envoy Witkoff and the president submitted a ceasefire proposal to Hamas that Israel backed and supported.
Hamas is now reviewing that proposal to reportedly stop Israel's attack for 60 days in exchange for 10 more hostage releases. It's now 2 weeks for two escaped prisoners still on the run after breaking out of a New Orleans jail with 8 others who have been captured. In Arkansas, it's day 6 of the manhunt for Grant Hardin, a convicted rapist and killer who broke out of a prison Sunday.
Hardin wore a fake uniform, tricking a corrections officer into opening a secured gate. Well, wanted posters, they are up everywhere. People in the area on edge.
Fox's Brooke Taylor in Gateway, Arkansas, where Hardin used to be the police chief. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
The price tag for an investigation into sexual harassment in the Indianapolis city government. Light rain on radar, 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Rain moving out to the east by about 9 or 10 o'clock. A high of 74 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:02. Nearly $500,000 of your tax money was spent by the Indianapolis government to look into whether Mayor Joe Hogsett's office had any role in sexual harassment within the government.
It's important to have that independent, unbiased investigation. And when you have one of the top 10 firms in the nation in employment law doing this work, you expect to pay for that.
Committee Chair Krista Carlino told reporters after the report came out yesterday that the city followed the law, but still needs to update its policies and oversight.
I mean, I think that members of the committee definitely share that there were some maybe ethical or moral decisions that they may have made differently, and morals and ethics are in some cases subjective.
Your elected leaders hired a Chicago firm named Fisher Phillips. They released a 55-page report reviewing allegations from 17, 20, and 23 involving Thomas Cook, a top advisor to Mayor Joe Hogsett. All 3 women have accused Cook of harassment or assaults during his time within the government, but Cook is out of there. The Eastern Conference Final Series between the Pacers and the Knicks is coming back to Indy for Game 6 tomorrow.
We obviously didn't play with the level of force that we needed to. We lost the rebound battle. We lost the turnover battle. We didn't shoot well. They had a lot to do with it, so give them credit.
Head coach Rick Carlisle's team, uninspired performance. Tyrese Halliburton only had 8 points, a 111-94 loss. Tip-off tomorrow, Gainbridge Fieldhouse is 8 o'clock. A man is in custody in connection with the 3 arsons that happened at 3 apartments in Greenwood on Thursday morning. The cops say 50-year-old Ronnie Brasher faces 3 counts of level 4 arson. Tristan Rousey told Wish TV that he and his family made it out of the Auburn Place apartments just in the nick of time.
I just heard banging because my dad was running down the stairs trying to get everybody out of the house.
And the other 2 apartment complexes got hit with fires were the Westminster and Polo Run apartments. 4 people are in the hospital after the car they were in collided with the train on the south side of Indianapolis. Jarrett Lewis has more.
According to IMPD, a Louisville and Indiana Railroad train collided with a car carrying 4 people in a residential area near the Indianapolis border with the town of Homecroft. The collision occurred just after 2 o'clock Thursday afternoon. All 4 people inside the car suffered minor injuries and then were taken to local hospitals. The driver was also treated at the scene. It's unclear how the train and the car ended up crashing, but IMPD's traffic unit is now investigating. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
Gas prices here in the capital city, $3.11 this morning, says AAA. That's slightly below the national average of $3.16. I'm Ryan Hedrick on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com at 8:05. Traffic on the 5s. What are you watching for us, Jeremy Scott?
Well, Ryan, one of the crashes I'm watching is the only one right now. It's on the southwest side on 465 westbound at Kentucky Avenue. Left lane's blocked with that crash. You're heavy back from the White River. The other crash you're watching on the south side on the ramp from 69 northbound to 465 westbound has been cleared off, and that delay quickly went away. We're seeing delays everywhere because of the wet weather. 465 northbound heavy, 86 into 865. Once you go eastbound, you're slow all the way out to Meridian, then back on the brakes approaching Allisonville. Northbound on the east side heavy from 70 all the way over to Fall Creek. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist, what's happening?
Hey, good morning. We've got mostly cloudy skies. Beginning to see that rain taper off here in the city, but still pretty significant south and east of Indianapolis. We'll look for partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon. And later today, after about 5 o'clock, we'll look for a chance for a few spotty showers and thunderstorms. Highs today near 74. We'll fall to 58 degrees tonight. Now, the weekend looks great. Sunny, spectacular on Saturday, 75, 77 on Sunday, under sunny skies. And next week, looking good. Feeling like summer, though. Low to middle 80s possible as we head into the work week.
That right there, Tara Hastings of Wish TV. Tara, have a good weekend. You seem very excited. Just overjoyed.
I am.
Delighted. Because you like the heat. You like the heat. You bring the heat. You like the heat.
Yep.
You're all about the heat.
Yep. Well, I don't like the heat and humidity together. That's a little obnoxious. But looking forward to a little warmer temps.
Little obnoxious Scott Sander or little obnoxious Phil Sanchez?
Phil Sanchez.
Ah, yes. Phil Sanchez obnoxious.
Yes.
Is that higher or lower on the obnoxious scale?
That is definitely higher.
It's higher. Okay. What is the top? What is the top of the obnoxious scale?
I would say Phil Sanchez.
Yeah, you see, I was going to go with Ryan Morris. I was going to go Ryan Morris as the top.
Oh, okay.
Maybe an Arsudas.
Yeah. That would work too, yeah. That's
right?
good. Yeah.
Right. I believe it's referred to, the obnoxious scale is also referred to as the Narsudas telemetry.
Ooh.
I believe that's what
that works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Don't ask what the Hastings scale is. You don't want to know.
No. We don't want to know.
No, we'll just leave that over to the side. We'll just put that in the discarded area there.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
There it is. Tara Hastings, Wish TV meteorologist. Always a pleasure. Right now, 58 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time right now is 8:08.
This hour on 93 WIBC is powered by Price Point Comfort Heating and Cooling, your independent American Standard air dealer.
read the story about the Hostess closure, which is an absolutely terrible story? That the people who are was it J.M. Smucker? Yes, I'm allowed to say that. There's nothing wrong with what I said. Oh, come on. You don't need to be doing that. All right, fine, I'll do it.
Hey, phrase it.
J.M. Smucker. That's all. They are closing the Hostess facility in Indianapolis. They are Ohio-based. Change is part of a consolidation effort. The Indianapolis facility makes the Twinkies, the Ding Dongs, the donuts, and the cupcakes. Honestly, I don't even understand how we're allowing this to happen. How did we lose our snacky cakes? We had one job, Indianapolis. Keep the snacky cakes. And now what? Well, we do have a lot of local bakeries. True. And we should go to them. But still, sometimes you need sugar in a plastic wrapper. What? Just sugar? Only sugar in a plastic wrapper. What? I have to go find that? Why can't I just go to any convenience store and get it? That's what Hostess means to Indianapolis. Nay, America. And now it is no longer to be. Actually, it's never what you want to see. You don't want to see people out of a job. That facility hires 260 people. That stinks. It does, and I hope they find other jobs. I hope people in other food-related industries see this and see an opportunity to hire some people that already have some training. I truly hope it works out. Tony Katz. Before I go, 5 years since the George Floyd riots, what was the effect on Indianapolis? Rick Snyder of the Fraternal Order of Police is with us next to share his thoughts and what has changed in Indianapolis since 5 years ago. People died. Businesses got destroyed. What's better? What's worse? What hasn't changed at all? That's coming up next. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning.
Meet Alan, who was diagnosed with sleep apnea.
I was what they call a mouth breather, and I would breathe at night with my mouth open.
And for about 8 years, Alan struggled with a CPAP machine. And then
I saw the Advent commercial, and I thought, well, what do you got to lose? This machine is miserable.
For most people, CPAP machines are miserable. But a simple in-office solution from Advent can be life-changing.
And it really was, to me, it was amazing because I don't think I ever breathed that clear.
This is Dr. Madan Kandula. After having one of Advent's simple in-office procedures, people are amazed at how freely and clearly they can breathe.
I'm happy with the procedure. I'm very glad I did it. I wish I would have done it 20 years ago. I could have avoided that machine I had to have laying next to the bed with the hose wrapped around my head.
Schedule your appointment at adventknows.com because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare, and I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call. I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing. Attorneys, this was meant to be funny, so please don't sue me, especially my friend Kenneth from Black River Falls, Wisconsin.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400. 800-790-1400.
The deals and specials are sizzling hot. It's the Central Indiana Gun and Knife Show this Saturday and Sunday at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory on West Minnesota Street. The best dealers in the region, hundreds of tables, just $6 for adults, kids 12 and under free. Must be 18 or accompanied by an adult. Buy, sell, trade this Saturday 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Sunday 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Stoutfield National Guard Armory. For more info, visit CentralIndianaGunShows.com.
Hi, this is Chris Cox, owner of Chimney Solutions Indiana.
we're celebrating our 10th year in business. Call this month to take advantage of 10% off all chimney sweeps and inspections. We're also celebrating the opening of our new fireplace showroom on 86th Street and Lafayette Road. Come and experience our exclusive lines of wood-burning and gas fireplaces.
Call 317-757-6979 or chimneyindy.com.
Hi, it's T. Brian Hayes here from the Retirement Money Matters Show. Millions of people are moving money into tax-free Roth IRAs to get their retirement plan as tax efficient as possible. Should you do this as well? Well, just as you've always been taught to look both ways before crossing a road, you need to evaluate all factors before moving money into a Roth IRA. Join me this weekend as we educate you on all the factors to consider before making this move. The Retirement Money Matters Show airs this Saturday morning at 6 a.m. right here on WIBC.
Traffic on the 5s, and Jeremy Scott in for Matt Bear. What do you know?
Well, Tony, the good news is things are getting better out there. We're not seeing as many delays, but I just saw a new crash pop up. 70 eastbound right around Harding. It looks like it's off to the right shoulder. Actually, right lane. I'm going to take that back as I take a look at the Harding jam cam. So things will muck up in that area. Still got a big problem on the south side. Westbound 465 heavy around Kentucky Avenue with a crash in the left lane. Other than that, just slow conditions everywhere, like 70 westbound heavy Emerson into the north split. That's because 6570 really hasn't recovered from that earlier crash. Southbound on 65 right around Raymond, you're heavy between the splits. Traffic is sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage for a limited time. Go to rapidradios.com now for 60% off and free UPS shipping. Add code radio and get an extra 5% off. I'm Jeremy Scott with Traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
59 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:16.
There was a crowd at Pennsylvania and Market Street, and we were right around where people were just breaking glass, and at different businesses. At the Huntington Bank there at Pennsylvania and Market, as well as Dick's Bodacious Barbecue has had its windows busted out as well. And then IMPD just out of nowhere, literally I didn't even see anybody out there, just out of nowhere throws a bunch of tear gas canisters into the crowd and basically disperses the whole crowd. And, of course, I've taken another big whiff of it as well.
That was WIBC's Kurt Darling reporting during the riots here in Indianapolis, the George Floyd riots, where businesses were destroyed. Dick's Bodacious is no longer even there on the corner, and people were killed. 5 years later, we learn anything? 5 years later, is Indianapolis any different? The reaction then, the response then, we don't know where Joe Hogsett, the mayor, was. He was not on scene. Do we think that if a riot broke out right now, things would be any different? Tony Katz, good to be with you. Rick Snyder joins us right now, president of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police, serving over 3,000 members in central Indiana, also the national FOP chaplain. Let us start with, I think, a baseline here, which is when we take a look back 5 years ago at what happened, at the devastation, what was your take then on what took place?
Well, our take was the same as our officers, which was that this was a coordinated event, that there was a lot of it was very apparent that there was a lot of pre-planning, and it was apparent that there were paid professional agitators amongst the crowds in downtown Indianapolis. You got to remember, Tony, to put it in context, we had a police action shooting just prior to this that kind of flowed right into all this national conflict as well. And what we even saw then, prior to the riots, were people that were showing up. I mean, picture this. You have an event that's obviously not planned. It's a rapidly evolving event, and all of a sudden people pull up, pop open their trunks, and they're pulling out professionally made signs, bullhorns, and are ready to go to start agitating and spinning up a crowd. Well, it's the same thing that we saw on a huge scale in downtown Indianapolis that led into the riots.
I don't say no to things being pre-planned on professional agitators. I'm discussing the response from Indianapolis. Take me through what you saw from the IMPD, from the mayor's office. What was the response? There were conversations about whether or not the police were ordered to stand down. Walk me through that.
Well, they're definitely, from our officers, made clear to us post-events that it was abundantly made clear to them to stand down, to allow folks to move off of the circle, to allow folks to move throughout the downtown area. And if you remember and you watch any of those videos, you'll see that our officers literally look like they're trying to stand the line on behalf of our city with their hands tied behind their back. And, you know, once things broke loose, businesses were being destroyed. You got to remember there were 4 people shot, 2 of which lost their lives, hundreds of businesses destroyed, fires everywhere. Our officers had frozen water bottles being thrown at them that were hard as a brick. They were under constant gunfire. That's the thing that people don't remember. Our officers for 2 straight days were under constant gunfire. And to prove it, you can hear it in all the radio traffic, in many of the 911 phone calls. But here's what's interesting, Tony. Not any of that has been published. So there's 48 hours of radio traffic and 911 calls that have never been released by the city of Indianapolis. Back then and still today, we ask this question: why? In the essence of transparency, why wouldn't you make those publicly available for people to weed through? And I can tell you why. Because it was hell on earth, and people would hear it in real time and see and understand what our officers were up against. Yet the mayor convened this crony committee that put together an after-action report. And I want you to listen to part of what they said as their findings. They said that basically blamed the officers for the riots and for defending themselves, and said that officers should always use a quote-unquote soft approach and avoid wearing helmets and protective vests when they're amongst the crowds. So here again, we're going to say to our law enforcement officers, don't do anything to protect yourself, and any protective equipment, leave that back at home or in your car and put yourselves in the middle of this. What it creates is this real question: what do we do when this happens again? And if people don't think that this is coming back again, you're fooling yourself. Take a good look around our nation right now. Look at what's going on in the state of Washington. The lines are being probed to see how we're going to respond. And don't forget, we also had buses that were stopped after our riots in Indianapolis that were heading back to Asheville, North Carolina. Tony, do you know what's in Asheville? That's the East Coast base for Antifa, and Seattle is the West Coast base. It's a very deliberate, planned process, and we've got to be on guard for that.
Talking to Rick Snyder, president of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police, Rick FOP 86 on the Twitter X. If you want to find him, let's go back to, as you talk about Asheville, North Carolina, and Seattle, Washington. But let's go back to what took place in Indianapolis. You talk about gunfire. You talk about 2 people who were killed. You talk about the fires that were set, the vandalism. Were there any charges or convictions from those who involving those who were killed in Indianapolis during those 2 nights of rioting?
There were for the 2 homicides that occurred, but many of the arrests that were made by officers during the riots, especially for disorderly conduct and proactive arrests that were used to de-escalate and diffuse the situation and get the main culprits, if you will, the main antagonizers out of the scene to de-escalate the situation. Immediately, the local Indianapolis Marion County prosecutor dismissed their charges en masse. Well, what do you think that told? That was on the first night, Tony. So what do you think that told those folks for the next night? They had carte blanche to go down there and destroy our city, and it emboldened them, and it undercut the efforts of our law enforcement officers to protect our downtown.
Rick, let me ask the final 2 questions, starting with the first one. It's 5 years later, Rick Snyder. Is this city prepared for another riot?
Well, I'll say this. This is what is so ironic in all of this. Nobody does that type of work better than Indianapolis. We have an extremely well-prepared emergency response group, and all of our officers on the department are trained as mobile field force officers. Most major cities do not have that, but Indianapolis does. If our officers would be allowed to do what they're trained to do in the professional manner in which they know how to do it, I think we can stave a lot of that off. Does it mean that it won't come our way again? No, it absolutely is going to. Tony, just over race weekend in Indianapolis, banners were deployed on the west side of Indianapolis from overpasses that showed signs like riot like it's 2020, and 2020 was scratched out and made into 2025. Another banner said, "We will bury you." And then another banner that was made in the same similar fashion said, "Free Palestine." What do you think that was trying to convey to race fans coming in from all around the world to Indianapolis 500? So we're a high-profile city. It absolutely can happen again. And we collectively have to decide and make clear to our leaders, what will you do and what will you not do when it comes back home here to Indianapolis?
This brings us to question number 2, Rick Snyder, which is we saw what it is our leadership would not do. Never mind then Governor Holcomb. There was no National Guard presence that existed in Indianapolis, but there was also no presence of the mayor, Joe Hogsett. 5 years later, as we've been asking the question of where was Joe Hogsett for 2 nights of riots, can you answer that question for us, Rick? Do you know where the mayor of Indianapolis was while Indianapolis burned and people got killed?
Couldn't tell you. I can tell you that we were intensely trying to make contact with him with our concerns about how things were developing and evolving. And that's a pretty lonely feeling, I can tell you, when you're trying to get the leader of the city on the horn to say, well, what are we going to do here, boss? And, I feel for our leadership of our police department. I mean, they're empowered to make decisions, and there are some of those decisions that obviously we don't agree with. I think they would do them differently if they had it to do over again. But again, they still answer to civilian leadership, that being our mayor and council leadership. And that was a very frustrating situation. And Tony, the problem with this is lives are on the line. And I know this is near and dear to your heart. I was just in Washington, D.C. I had the honor of speaking at the Kaddish service for our Jewish officer memorial there, provided by the Shamrim Society. And the very next week, just across the street from where we were that day, 2 people were assassinated simply for who they were. And how much talk have you heard about that since, Tony, on a national discussion level? And I just want to keep reminding people, if you think that isn't coming to a city near you, stand by. And we have to make sure that we have leaders in place who will rise to the occasion and stand the line for our community and everyone who lives in it.
Rick Snyder is his name. You can find him on the Twitter X, Rick FOP86. He is the president of the Indianapolis Fraternal Order of Police. I appreciate taking the time to be with us. Matt Bear is out today. Jeremy Scott has traffic.
Well, Tony, we're watching the big problem going into downtown on 70 eastbound. You're crawling from Tibbs all the way over to Harding. That's because of a crash involving multiple bigger trucks in the right lane. In fact, one of them is sitting sideways, so expect that to be there for a while. Traffic sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Cabot. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 at River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
What a fun show this afternoon. Not only is it Beer Sample Friday, but it's the Summer of Allison. And producer Allison is going to be on Celebrity Beer Bong today. We've also got the top stories in Indy.
You probably have a dream retirement in mind, but do you know how to get there? The difference between dreaming and living your ideal retirement comes down to having the right plan. And that's where Howard Bailey Financial can help. At Howard Bailey Financial, we've created a free retirement toolkit to help you bridge the gap between where you are now and where you want to be. Text DREAM to 888-262-1104 to download your free retirement toolkit that includes a retirement checklist, Social Security decisions guide, estate planning guide, and more. We want your dream retirement to be your reality. And it starts by texting DREAM to 888-262-1104. Let us help you take the next step toward the retirement of your dreams. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
Nobody cares for you like family. Family Heating and Air.
Hey, this
this is Malia. We often get asked when is the best time to buy, and the answer is today, not tomorrow. With rising utility costs, rising product costs, and missed opportunity costs, which you could be saving with a high-efficiency system. Give us a call today to schedule your free in-depth estimate, 317-577-8077.
Family Heating and Air is your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small. Loud or quiet, find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
1 second I'm on my bike, next second I see this car coming at me. And
I broke my left ankle in 3 places.
I decided to call Hensley.
I realized Hensley was impressive first time I spoke with my attorney.
They just kind of took that burden off my back.
It happens. Hire Hensley. Tune in Saturdays 9 to 1 for the Home and Garden Show for advice and fun. Brought to you by Michaelis. Water, storms, fire, and wet basements. Life happens. Michaelis happens to help you through it.
Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146th and River Road, North Shadeland, or DrexelIN.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level. On the go.
A former police chief who escaped from prison and the search for him. Light rain on radar, 59 degrees in downtown Indianapolis. Most of your heavy rain has moved out to the south and southeast near Cincinnati. We're going up to 74 today. I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at 8:31. Checkpoints, helicopters, and canine units are all out across Arkansas this morning as police search for a former cop turned convicted killer who walked out of jail.
We are on day 6 of this manhunt right now, and the FBI leaning on the public, offering that $10,000 reward leading to Grant Hardin's arrest. The FBI calling him armed and dangerous. Law enforcement officials setting up checkpoints all around Calico Rock, Arkansas, stopping drivers.
That's Fox's Brooke Taylor in Gateway, Arkansas this morning.
He was a former police chief of the small town of Gateway, Arkansas. He went from the top cop to convicted murderer and rapist. In 2017, he was convicted of shooting a city employee in the face. It was the DNA from that murder that helped detectives solve an unsolved rape case from back in 1997.
And police say Hardin wore a fake Department of Corrections uniform, tricking a corrections officer into opening a security gate to let him out. A call for help has been made from Indiana to D.C. Chris Davis explains.
Easy to complain when you're inconvenienced, but that like I said, that perspective change of thankfulness is very powerful.
Lamont Glover was one of hundreds of Hoosiers affected by storms in the past couple of months. The Indiana Department of Homeland Security says Governor Braun has asked for federal help, requesting a presidential disaster declaration through FEMA. There's no guarantee that will be granted, but the request goes up the chain to the president, who looks at the damage estimates and the requirements. Essentially, they'll get back to us. Chris Davis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
A long, drawn-out Democratic investigation into a Democratic mayor in Indianapolis is over, and a report is released.
I wish I could say I was shocked by what we found, but I'm not that shocked that we didn't really hear anything from this. I went into this very skeptical that we would actually get anything done.
Republican County Councilor Brian Mowry speaking with reporters after a 55-page report dropped, excusing Joe Hogsett's behavior in office and finding that the city does need to make some policy changes and oversight changes.
One of the things I thought of coming in here, pulling into the building today, was if I was the mayor and I knew I was innocent and I didn't do anything wrong, I would have been there today, and I would have made sure that people saw that I was standing behind what had happened and that I done everything I needed to do, and not hid behind the 4 walls of the mayor's office.
And the investigation cost you, the taxpayer, nearly $500,000. No serious injuries to report from a crash in southern Indianapolis Thursday. Jarrett Lewis is on that story.
The collision involved a Louisville and Indiana Railroad train in a black vehicle carrying a driver and 3 passengers. Officials responded to East Banta Road in southern Indianapolis in the area of Homecroft Thursday afternoon. The crash gave the 4 people inside the car minor injuries, but they were reportedly in stable condition after being taken to local hospitals. IMPD's traffic unit is now investigating what led up to the collision. Jarrett Lewis, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
At movie theaters this weekend, the new Karate Kid Legends movie is expected to make about $25 million, and Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning could bring in about $30 million. Sports on WIBC is brought to you by Ball State Athletics. Visit ballstatesports.com. The Indiana Pacers say they are not shaken after dropping Game 5 to the New York Knicks in the Eastern Conference Finals, 111-94. They still lead the series 3-2, and it comes back to Indy with the chance to finish it and punch their ticket to the NBA Finals.
I mean, we're a resilient group. We always want to respond when things don't go well. You know, after a game like that, we understand what the stakes are. We're fine. There's no need to panic or anything. You know, it's a tough loss.
And the Knicks won a game at home for the first time in the series, stopped the Pacers from locking in their second ever trip to the NBA Finals. Tomorrow's tip at Gainbridge Fieldhouse is 8 o'clock. The Indiana Fever look to bounce back after Wednesday's loss in Washington without Caitlin Clark. Head coach Stephanie White says the team plays a whole different game when Clark is not in the lineup.
Sort of re-engineering and looking at some of our more off-ball movement, timing, that spacing, that's a different kind of execution. It's something that we want to get to anyway so that we have a healthy balance.
And the Fever hosts the Connecticut Sun tonight at 7:30. I'm Ryan Hedrick on The Level on the Go and at WIBC.com at 8:35. Traffic on the 5s. Here's Jeremy Scott.
Well, Ryan, we start things off on the west side where 70 eastbound crawls from Tibbs to Harding. So if you're heading to downtown for the west side, might want to think about using Morris as your alternate. That's because of a crash involving multi-trucks in the right lane, a semi, a box truck, and looks like a landscaping truck as well. Things are getting better around the area for the most part, though. We're seeing just some slight delays at 65 northbound approaching in the south split. The 65-70 southbound, little tap of the brakes between the splits. Also, 465 westbound heavy man to Kentucky after an earlier crash. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 Cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 at River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
We've got 59 degrees in the American Standard Cooling Weather Center. The time is 8:36.
As a caregiver, managing your loved one's health can at times be overwhelming. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. In a moment, I'll share 3 tips to help you manage your loved one's medical care effectively.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Tip number 1, keep a list of all medications, dosages, and schedules to ensure your loved one is taking their medication correctly. Second, attend doctor's appointments with your loved one when you're able. And finally, stay organized by keeping forms, notes, and other important documents in one secure place. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access a library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
How bad is it? Don't sugarcoat it. Give it to me straight. Want coffee?
I think I need some coffee.
Time to fill up on the news. Tony Katz at 93 WIBC. Good morning. Great to be with you. Great to be here. Things are all right, guys. Things are pretty dang groovy. We have got Dow futures down 191. NASDAQ futures down 131. Oil prices down a little bit, $60.42 on the West Texas crude. That's something to keep an eye on. $63.86 from the Brent crude. That comes out of the oceans. A little more expensive there. Down a little bit as well. The 10-year Treasury at 4.438 on the upswing. And then there's this. The Personal Consumption Expenditures Price Index is at 2.1. Wait a second. So this is what the rate the gauge that the Fed likes to look at. 2.1% is inflation. Have we seen enough data to say we've turned the corner and inflation is down, or is this actually an indicator of something else? I will break this down in full on Tony Katz today at noon. All I know is that the inflation is not the problem. The problem is if I want to sit courtside for the Pacers and the Knicks game 6 at Gainbridge Fieldhouse Saturday night, I have to pay $45,000 a ticket. $45,000 is the price. That's if I'm front row. If I want to be second row, it's only $21,000 a ticket. Fourth row, it's $14,000 a ticket. That's what I'm paying. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I want to. Am I in for that? No. Yes. No. Let's see. Let's say that I'm not. Let's say that I only make radio money, and that's not going to work. Let's take a look at just maybe some regular seating here. Let's just take a look at this one right here. This is Section 5, Row 4. Nope. That's still $17,000 a ticket. And here we go. Section 5, Row 14. Right? Still plenty close to the action. Behind the scorer's table, only $2,200 a ticket. That's it. That is it. $2,200 a ticket. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm having a little problem with this. I'm having a little problem with $2,200 a ticket. But let's say I go to, that's in Section 211, you can get tickets at $200 a ticket. That could be seen as reasonable. $244 a ticket there is what you're going to pay. What if I want like those fancy seats? What if I want the fancy seats, like what do they call that? The loge? Is that the loge they call it? Where you get the nice chair and the food comes to you. That's $936 a ticket. Terrace 3. I don't know. Is that a good place? Whatever it is. The moral of the story is that inflation has nothing to do with this. This is all supply and demand, boo-boo. I'm amazed there are still tickets. But they are there. And you can get yours. You can get yours for the game. I might get mine. I probably might will. Maybe. Yeah. Probably. We'll see. Who knows? It's a lot of money. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Maybe you'll spend your money on a tree. Well worth it. Circle City Trees makes it worth it. CircleCityTrees.com. That's where you go. They're right there in Zionsville. So take a picture of your backyard, your front yard, your side yard, wherever it is you need a tree, and bring it to Circle City Trees and say, hey, what would fit in this area? And they will help you out. They have this incredible selection of mature trees that thrive in Indiana. We're talking about trees up to 30 feet tall. We're not talking about little things here. We're talking about fully mature trees, evergreens and shade trees, ornamental trees, flowering trees, fruit trees, whatever it is you need. You want shade in the backyard or for the back patio? You want to block out a nosy neighbor? You want to create some depth? Circle City Trees, the one and only call to make, and they take care of the installation. They've got the whole mulching and the warranty. You want to talk to them. You want to tell them Tony Katz sent you. Incredible people. Fantastic selection. Circle City Trees. 317-768-3005. 317-768-3005. Circle City Trees. 768-3005 or online at circlecitytrees.com.
Kendall and Casey.
You just heard him mention dignity.
Simple dignity. Everyone deserves to be treated with dignity.
Dignity.
He's turned into Randy Marsh from South Park. It's America. I'm sorry. It's America.
It's about dignity.
Yes.
Arresting me for what? I'm not allowed to stand up for myself? I thought this was America.
Kendall and Casey. Weekdays 9 till noon on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
Hammer and Nigel here for Window Nation. Summer's here. So are the rising temperatures. Before you know it, you're going to be wondering what else you can do to keep cool during these hot days of summer. Beat the heat and keep the AC in your home with Window Nation's energy-efficient vinyl windows. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows for free during their big, awesome semi-annual sale, and a free entry door when you purchase a house of windows. Plus, no money down, no interest, no monthly payments until 2027. Get this deal, lock it in right now, but you have to say Hammer and Nigel sent you. You don't get the deal unless you say Hammer and Nigel sent you. The big semi-annual sale from Window Nation. Buy 4 windows, get 4 windows for free, a free entry door when you purchase a house of windows. You don't pay anything until 2027. Schedule that free estimate right now at 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
If this is the year to build your custom dream home, Joyner Homes is ready to help make your dream come true. They offer the flexibility to build on your own lot, allowing you to build a home in the place you've always envisioned. A dedicated in-house team of experts will guide you through every step, offering unmatched personalization and flexibility. Joyner Homes provides clear and upfront pricing and floor plans to inspire you. There's no time like the present to get in touch with Joyner Homes to talk about your vision and learn more about their building process. Visit JoynerHomes.com.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2025 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Traffic on the 5s. Matt Bear is out today. Jeremy Scott, what's going on?
Well, Tony, it seems like every traffic report except the first one has had a crash. We're still watching this one on 70 eastbound towards a parking lot from Timpson to Harding. If you're heading into downtown from the west side, might want to think about Morse as your alternate. Multiple vehicles involved in this, and that's actually going to be multiple bigger vehicles. Got a landscaping truck, a box truck, and a semi. I actually think that's 2 semis as I'm looking at the I-70 at Harding jam cam, so you definitely want to give yourself a little bit of extra time heading into downtown. Other than that, things are getting better almost elsewhere. Still have a delay, 465 eastbound approaching Meridian, and 65 northbound approaching the South Split, and then again approaching Meridian. Traffic is sponsored by Drexel Interiors. Go where the pros go. Drexel Interiors for 1951 cabinetry. Visit Drexel's Kitchen and Bath Design Centers at 146 and River Road, North Shadeland, or online at drexelin.com. I'm Jeremy Scott with traffic on the 5s. Follow us on X at WIBC Traffic.
Yeah, I'm right. That's right. 59 degrees. I got it right. Don't question me. In the American Standard Cooling Weather Center, the time is 8:46. We're doing 2 military-themed shows this week. Tony Katz, 93 WIBC. Good morning. Good to be with you. It's time to play America's favorite game. What the heck is that TV theme song? Here's how we play our game. Producer Carl picks a television theme song of yesteryear. I have to guess what that is. I want to say for the record, there would never have been a chance I've gotten this. Never once. No chance at all. And I like Gerald McRaney. Luckily, the chat room is there if you watch the live stream over there on the YouTubes. They have got me covered. This is the theme song to Major Dad. In my life, I would not have gotten this. There would have been no chance for me to get this. I don't know the show. I mean, I know the show existed.
It was on for 4 years, believe it or not.
Well, I'm not saying that it wasn't on for 4 years. I am saying that I have absolutely no idea what this show is. Right? It starred Marissa Ryan. And you're like, who's Marissa Ryan? I'm like, that's my problem. Like, I don't know. I should know. I should know who Marissa Ryan is. But I didn't. That's Major Dad.
You should know this show if you're patriotic.
Wow. I don't know Major Dad, so all of a sudden I'm a communist? Good Lord. All right, turn that off. We're done with that. No, I don't recall it in the slightest. Of course, as we discussed, you'll have the Pacers Saturday night, Game 6, Gainbridge Fieldhouse. Yeah, got blown out by the Knicks. It was a bad beat. But as they're saying it, there's nothing to panic, nothing to worry about. I'm with them on this. Why wouldn't I be? I think they've proven that time and time again. It's the first time they have to go to 6 games. But hopefully they close that out in 6. They close that at home. They go on to the finals. Finals are going to be difficult. If they get there, Oklahoma, man, dang. But one thing at a time. You got to handle Saturday night. That's what you have to do. Then there's President Trump. You've seen pictures, by the way. Oh, yeah. That guy is everywhere.
Hello.
Hey, sir. How are you? President Trump saying 2 weeks ago, China was in grave economic danger. The very high tariffs I set made it virtually impossible for China to trade into the United States marketplace, which is by far #1 in the world. We went, in effect, cold turkey with China, and it was devastating for them. Many factories closed, and there was, to put it mildly, civil unrest. Now, we heard about these things, and we brought this up. We discussed the fact that tariffs in the United States will make Americans annoyed. Tariffs in China could create unrest. I said those words. We discussed it right here. We're not smarter, although we may very well be. We're just more honest. And that's how we're able to see around the corners. That's how we're able to see what's coming. President Trump continued, I saw what was happening and didn't like it for them, not for us. I made a fast deal with China in order to save them from what I thought was going to be a very bad situation, and I didn't want to see that happen. Because of this deal, everything quickly stabilized and China got back to business as usual. Everybody was happy. That is the good news. The bad news is that China, perhaps not surprisingly to some, has totally violated its agreement with us. So much for being Mr. Nice Guy. Okay. Oh, my head. Mr. President, I want to just say for the record, I really don't care what you post. We know the story here. And the story is, why would anybody look at what's happening in China and say, I didn't like what was happening for them? If it was bad for them, they should have come to you and made a deal. They should have made the deal. If they didn't want to make a deal, let it be bad for them. What's that our problem? Wasn't that the whole point of the tariffs? You're playing Mr. Nice Guy? What is that going to get you with Chi-Coms who want to kill all of us, who want us destroyed? They want to be the power. They don't want hegemonic power in a region. They want the power. So much for being Mr. Nice Guy. I want to hear today that we have 42,000% tariffs on China. What? We're just throwing out numbers. That's all we're doing. I don't want this. You think I want this post? I want this tweet, whatever you want to call it? Blah, 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 blah. Crush China. What are we talking about? Why are we wasting time? And this, so we're clear, Mr. President, this is not strong. This is not strong. Because very few people are going to buy into, oh, he was being Mr. Nice Guy. He was just trying to help the Chinese. No. Maybe it's a surprise to some. They violated the agreement. It's China. Everybody knows they violate the agreements. What? I don't know what you're doing here. And honestly, I don't want any more part of it. I just want it handled. Create a trade deal or ruin them economically, which is the way to ruin them. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Just that easy. But remember, it doesn't matter what he says. It doesn't matter what he posts. It only matters what happens. The only things that matter are the things that happen. So I'm not going to get worked up by it. I'm not sure where it's going to send the markets. Not at all. Then there is how Harvard is responding and reacting to funding being cut off. How this is affecting their research. This is a professor at Harvard. on CNN, of course, losing funding because of the bigotry on the campus.
I think that is gaslighting the American people. There are not alternative vendors for these studies because these studies were the ideas of scientists who competed in open competition with their best ideas against other people's best ideas and won the awards because they put the best ideas on the table. There is no alternative vendor who can make up that work. I think that's ultimately going to become clear as we see the damage to the research program of the United States that these actions have taken.
Then you should tell Harvard to stop hating Jews and also stop hating Asian students. You should tell them to stop these antics. Because if you tell me the effect on science, here's what I know. Because of COVID, everybody had to stay 6 feet apart. Businesses had to be shut down. Lives had to be ruined. But if you had to gather to riot for George Floyd, then it was healthy. You see, that was okay. So we have to do this in order to ensure the health of the United States and end this bigotry from the university set that you support. And that means the research has to be halted. Stop the bigotry. I'll catch you guys at noon on Tony Katz Today. Matt Bear's out today. Jeremy Scott has traffic.
Well, good news is on 70 eastbound